Hello, 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 and welcome back to episode 8 of The Good, the Dan, the Florida Man. With you, as always, your hosts.
I'm Ryan. I'm what's classified as the good. And we've got
Dan, what's classified as the Dan, and
I'm Ben. I am the Florida Man. That is the closest we've gotten to a functional intro. And I'm really proud of us.
Sign.
Yeah. Let's just make it as gimmicky and hacky as possible, so that way nobody can mess it up, okay? If you don't know, if this is your first episode listening to us, thank you for joining us. We are 3 comedians. We did stand-up comedy and improv and all that before the quarantine shut the world down. So we got famous on TikTok and started a podcast, just what the world needed. 3 more white men with a podcast. That being said, though, we do still do stand-up comedy. If you want to see us, you can come check us out at shows. Ryan, what you got coming up?
So I'm performing at colleges because that's what I do. So if you want to see me, go to college, I guess. I'm likely going to have some Austin shows in May because I'm going down to San Antonio, and then I'm going to be popping up to Austin. And then DC Comedy Loft in November, which I'm stoked for. And other than that, yeah, Dan, what you got?
I'm still doing open mics. So check me out at Utah Open Mics. Yay! And Ben?
I have some shows coming up. They're pretty few and far between. So just like Dan, if you want to see me do an open mic in Orlando, go to orlandocomedy.com. There's a full list of all our mics and shows. If you want to see me at a show, I'll be in Los Angeles on May 27th at the Violet Cactus. June 6th, I'll be in Wesley Chapel, Florida at their new Side Splitters location. June 16th, I'll be in Daytona Beach, Florida at the Hilton Garden Inn, Daytona Beach Oceanfront. Hate that so much. July 23rd, I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia at the True by Hilton Atlanta Galleria Ballpark. Too many words. August 13th, I'll be in Tallahassee, Florida at the Crumbox Beer Garden. But I think those tickets are sold out. They sold out in like 3 days.
Yeah.
It's a small venue.
I love that.
Like,
Just relax.
There were 8. And then November 12th through the 14th, I'll be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida at Anime Con inside the Marriott North Hotel. I got some shows coming up. Ryan, anything happened to you this week?
Yeah, actually, I totally forgot about it, which is a sign of how seriously I take it. But it was my birthday. Yeah,
How old did you turn?
Different age. Yeah.
All right.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday!
Yeah.
Time isn't real.
And yeah, that's the thing. Is it always feels like, I don't know. Like, it's just like, because nothing, there's the things everyone's like, oh, do you feel different? No, I'm still the same.
Yeah.
Because really, it was just a 2-minute change that changed a number that's after my name. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't a, like, if I died right now, they'd put Ryan Kelly, age, TikTok idiot.
Yeah.
Like,
and
that
then,
would be
and then every 2 years, you have to update, you have to raise the minimum age on your Bumble account to the next year because you're like, that might be a little too young now. Yeah.
Nah, definitely. Yeah.
Are those the only people that know your age? Girls on Bumble, Ryan?
It genuinely might be.
Ryan's actually 42.
Oh my god. It's this moisturizing care. I tell you what, really intense. But plus I'm so pale. People make the joke constantly. They're like, he's not telling us because he's a vampire. Like, he's going to kill us all. Like,
Okay, calm down, Edward Cullen.
Yeah, right. Park.
There'd be a lot of people that would line up for that if you just like kissing booth, vampire booth, and they're like, yeah, I'll pay $1.
I'd see the vampire booth. Yeah. He gives neck kisses and then you die. Like, that's the.
No, we're going Dracula.
That's how vampires do it. That's Dracula. Okay.
Yeah, Dracula turns you into a servant.
Oh, does he? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think
You
that's
guys
like a
make me
thing.
want to watch Twilight right now. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Dan, I was before this. I wasn't actually sure that you were gay, but now I am. So.
Oh, I also got something that I think you guys are gonna appreciate. I got a TikTok ad, like email. You always get those like hack emails that are like,
Yeah.
"You want to do a TikTok ad?" I got my
Absolutely.
favorite one recently, which is, they're like, we're a shipper that goes through Amazon. We do sports bras, leggings, like yoga pants. And I was like, And here's the thing. Now, I'm not going to do the ad for them, but I definitely want to do the ad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, just
absolutely.
me sports brought up.
Whenever I get stuff like that, I always just email back, why did you pick me?
Well, there's the thing. They said because they go, why did we pick you? Like, you have surprisingly good content. That's hurtful. Why is it shocking?
Surprising?
Yeah, right? We thought you'd fit our demographic.
What you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I would have appreciated it much more if they just emailed back and been like, we really want to see your ass in these leggings.
These are the TikTok leggings. Get it, King. Like, just, Dan, what about you? Dan, or Week in Life, what happened to you?
I pitched a movie series.
Yay! And they liked it, right?
They really liked it.
Yes.
So updates to come. It'll be obviously something that we're going to be working on for the next couple months. And the other thing that happened to me is that my parents subscribed to 6 different streaming services on my Amazon account. So I was charged nearly $100 in streaming services.
Aren't you so glad they cut cable?
But they're subscribed to PGA. They subscribe to Showtime Stars. All these random channels.
What's PGA?
The PGA Tour. Like,
the Professional Golf Association.
PGA Tour.
They were like, well, now that Tiger Woods isn't in it anymore, we can watch it.
So that was my week in the life, my wonderful parents.
Oh, Lord. I couldn't even name 6 streaming services. And your parents are like, yeah, we're going to make Dan buy him. He's doing well. He's on the tiki-taki. He's doing well.
I asked them, I said, how did you end up subscribing to 6 different services? And they were like, we just really love movies. And I was like,
you subscribe to the PGA
Tour. That's not a movie.
We gotta have something to fall asleep to.
With Shia LaBeouf. That's it. That's all they have.
They're from Africa. They're from Zimbabwe. They probably think it is.
Okay, they could just
like,
buy them
on a screen.
Just buy them Invictus. Like, brother.
Wonderful.
Okay.
What about you, Ben? What was your week like this week?
I actually went to Vegas for the first time this past week.
Yeah. Did you do something that stays in Vegas?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Yeah, no, pretty much everything that I could talk about is things that just like also happen in Florida. Bro, this is like the thing. I had never been to Vegas. So when I was flying into it, I like looked out one side of the plane and I was like, well, that's desert. And then I looked out and I was like, well, that's just a lie, isn't it? That's all that is. It is an artificial oasis that we built. And then not even like 30 minutes into my trip there, I was like, this is just Florida. Somebody went to Florida and was like, I want to put this in a desert. And they did. And that's Las Vegas. Like, yo, nobody in Vegas is from Vegas. Everyone there is drunk the entire time. And the third day that I was there, I watched 2 people get a divorce in a parking garage. If that doesn't scream Florida, I don't know what does. I
love a public divorce. We love a public divorce.
Someone went to Florida and was like, this, but no hurricanes. And then boom.
Florida that's better at keeping the secrets.
Yo, the thing with the divorce, they were just screaming at each other, and my car was like right behind theirs. And I walked right past them. I was like, oh, excuse me, sorry. It didn't even faze me. And the friend that I was with was like, are you listening to this? I was like, yeah, but I'm minding my business.
Etiquette.
Man, like, if the only thing that's stopping Florida from becoming Vegas entirely is just like, if we laxed our gambling laws just a little bit, within a month, Orlando, Florida would be known as Mouse Vegas, and you can't convince me otherwise.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
They would turn Main Street into just the world's largest craps table. And then every Halloween, they'd run a program called Mickey's Not So Scary Surprise Intervention. Like, that's you'd get on a ride you think would be like a haunted house tour. And as soon as you roll inside, the lights come back on, and it's just your family, and then every character from your childhood, one by one, telling you why you're ruining their lives. I don't know. I feel like that'd be really great to end it with just like Mickey walking out and just like very solemnly, just like, and Steven, this last letter was written by your mother. She says, your gambling addiction is tearing this family apart. I just don't know how much more I can take. Oh, now go be a good Mouseketeer. That'll be $800.
I love Mickey Mouse, Ben. This is incredible.
I love it.
Oh,
I'm gonna post more TikTok Mickey Mouse TikTok impressions.
Mouse.
Can you do it after you've recovered from the stroke, or should we do it before?
Listen, but that's it, man. I just got back a couple days ago. It was fun, but I think I'm gonna wait until entertainment opens up a little bit more before I head back.
No, that's fair. I get that.
Yep.
So that's it. That's all our weeks. Very eventful weeks, guys. I love it. Now to jump in to. Oh no.
What happened, buddy?
I hit start streaming instead of start recording.
So have we been... Well, I mean, technically we're still recording, so don't stop the stream.
I don't know how.
Wait, are you live on like Twitch right now?
It might be YouTube, but I'm like, let me see.
Oh my gosh.
Florida.
I'm going
That's really loud. Let me see. Content live. Yeah.
It doesn't look like you're live.
It said because it's on private.
You can save it to your
Because I'm
YouTube.
smart. Yeah.
On the upside, you don't really have to cancel it.
Is it caught up though? Because it's on private. Yeah, it is fully. It's
save
the
it
whole
to
thing.
your
I'm
YouTube,
smart.
right?
Yeah. That is the whole.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello.
Starts with hello. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, yeah, we're just streaming to YouTube then, I guess.
Good for YouTube.
Yay! We love
But
YouTube.
nobody can watch it. It's on private. So I'm just gonna download the video after we're done.
Well, are you keeping the Streamlabs one? Because that'll probably be better quality.
I mean, I'll start recording now. So yeah, we're recording now.
Oh, you didn't start.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't hit start recording. No. There's probably a feature, but
Yeah,
I
there
didn't
is.
click it. So yeah, for those of you just listening to the podcast, I'm a big dumb dummy, and we record the podcast on an application called OBS, and there's two buttons to click. There's one that says start streaming, and a button that says start recording. Usually you.
I knew something was wrong when you said Ticky Mouse talk. That was something different.
It didn't look good.
Usually I hit start recording and we just keep it on the desktop, but I hit start streaming this time, so I have just been live on YouTube for the past 13 minutes, but on private, so nobody knows. And it's fine. We're fine. If you're gonna watch the YouTube video later, whenever I switch it back over to the regular thing, you might see a small jump in quality. That's on me. That's my fault.
Wonderful.
Okay, well, with that being said,
It's our
let's
favorite
jump into my favorite part of the segment of the show.
Yay!
Story time! Story time! Yay!
Story time. Do.
Ding. I'll start this week if you guys don't mind. If you guys are cool
Go
with that.
ahead.
Go for
Go
it.
ahead.
So last week we were talking about something. I forget what we were talking about, but I had mentioned that I had shot a rocket at a tank, and Ryan got really excited about that.
It's fun.
So this is the story. This took place in basic training for the Army. This was at Fort Benning, Georgia, in the middle of the summer. It was hot as heck. For those of you that don't know, we have different nicknames for all of our basic training areas. Like Fort Jackson is called Relaxin' Jackson. Fort Sill is called Fort Chill. Fort Leonard Wood is called Fort Lost in the Woods. I've spent some time there too. But then Fort Benning, we just call that Fort Death. Like, there's no...
Wow.
Yeah, no, it sucks, dude. It is the worst one. That's where they do all their infantry training. So it's the grunts, and they just beat them up for 11 months. Like, that's it. And I was not infantry, I was support, but they still sent me there anyway.
wow.
They sent like one company, so Foxtrot 247. That's what I was in. Was a complete support company in the middle of this infantry battalion. 11 out of our 12 drill sergeants were all infantry drill sergeants, and they treated us like it. It was awful, dude. And I wouldn't, like, if someone was like, yeah, we'll give you that signing bonus again to go back, I'd be like, you can absolutely leave my life. Right? I know.
How long is basic, Ben? Is that six to 8 weeks or 8 weeks?
10 weeks. So there's a week and a half ish in the beginning. They call it 0 week. Where it's just getting all your gear, getting indoctrinated basically into the military. And that is the worst week, actually, because you don't do anything except for go to classes all day, every day. And you're under constant surveillance by all these drill sergeants. You don't know anything yet. They haven't taught you how to stand in formation. They haven't taught you any of this stuff yet. You haven't started training officially, but they give you a book, the blue book, and they're like, memorize every page of this. And it's the soldier's creed, it's the army song, it's like all of the core values. It's like all of that all day, every day for like 7 to 10 days straight, while also waiting in line to get your uniforms, waiting in line to get your clothes, waiting in line to do all of this stuff, and on no sleep. Like, you get a few hours maybe. The first day that I got there, I got lucky because we were like the last bus that came in, and I got to sleep for 4 hours before I had to get back up and start this.
Wow.
And bro, you can't lean on the walls. You can't sit. And if you do sit, you have to sit like touching other people and like fully like back straight, like wildly uncomfortable. It's the worst week. And then week 1 is like shark attack. So they just make you do like 1,000 push-ups every few hours, which is way better than doing nothing.
It's called Shark Attack, just to clarify?
So they call it Shark Attack. The moment that you get off the bus at basic training is called Shark Attack. Every single drill sergeant that you're about to spend the next like 8 to 10 weeks with attacks you. They're all in your face, screaming, yelling at you to do push-ups, lift your laundry bag over your head. Because we have a duffel bag on our front full of clothes, a duffel bag on our back full of equipment, and then a laundry bag full of even more clothes. Just like all of this stuff. And you're getting off of a bus. So you're like, and everyone's nervous and freaking out. So everyone's like bumping into each other. And like the only thought that was going through my mind when I was getting off this bus was like, don't trip, do not fall down. Do not fall down right now, Ben. Like, if you miss this step and you fall down, you go home. You walk home. You're not. Yep.
It sounds like a gay club, right?
I thought it sounded like
everyone's gonna change their clothes. Everyone's gonna change their clothes. Everyone's walking into the gay club like, you're terrible. Yeah.
Oh man.
Coming out, we waited in hours of lines. They hand you Chromatica and say, learn this. And that's what it is. Right?
Oh man. I think I could do another story time on like my first week there and like a couple other things, but we're just gonna jump ahead.
Okay.
So we're jump ahead to the rocket launcher story.
Rocket launcher.
During basic, you do your shooting week where we were on M16s, and whoever got the best score in the shooting in your company got to then go in like the future week when you go to the explosives range, they got to shoot the rocket launcher. And I won the shooting.
Of course you did.
I won the top shot. I won the top PT score. I was also the leader of the platoon that won the most platoon events. So I won the leadership award. And I won the honor grad award. So that's all 4 awards they give out at basic.
They said you can win the opportunity to shoot a rocket launcher, and the Florida in Ben just said yes.
Ben,
I do this.
I'll be honest with you.
Hardcore took it to heart.
I didn't care about anything. I don't know why I kept winning stuff. This was just like, like that was the attitude.
Talladega Nights, and you were just like, you're not first, you're last, and you just went, you took it to heart. Like, you're like, I'm good.
I did a lot of the stuff I did out of spite entirely. Like
That's a good driving force, to be honest, though.
Also, if you can avoid trauma, probably with people shouting in your face, you're probably like, if I'm just good at what I do, they're gonna leave me alone.
Yeah, no, that's a thing that I learned from the military. If you act a different rank, they will treat you a different rank. So that means if you're like a sergeant that acts like a private, they will treat you like a private. But if you're a private that acts like a friggin' sergeant major, maybe they're not going to give you that respect, but they're going to be like, yeah, we can treat him like a human being. It took me like 3 weeks for the drill sergeants to start calling me by my real last name, which was like way ahead of schedule.
Well, yeah. Wait, what else were they calling you?
They have nicknames for everyone, dude.
Okay.
What was your nickname?
One of them called me Brainard. They just put a Y in front of it, which out of the nicknames, not that creative.
Genius.
Not bad at all. Yeah,
comedic genius.
Another one started calling me Brainard, which was better. It was a little bit like on the list of things, I guess that would be under offensive, I suppose.
I don't think OSHA would consider it better, but carry on.
Yeah. Another one called me Rat Boy one time, but here's the deal. This guy is going to be in the main story. I have to tell you about this guy because he comes back in the main story here. It's one of the drill sergeants was just like a real terrible person the whole time, which, yeah, they are mean to you the whole time. But this guy was the entire time. Usually by like week 7, they're like, these guys have it figured out. And if you don't mess up, they don't yell at you kind of thing. But this guy was just rude and mean the entire time and didn't care. And a lot of the other drill sergeants didn't like him either. They were just like, yeah, he's annoying. Like, we don't
associate.
Yeah, and I guess one time I came back from the latrine and I had my safety goggles, which we had to wear at all times. I had my safety goggles on my head instead of my eyes, and he pointed at me and said, "Rat boy, glasses." And I looked around. I was like, who are you? Like, me? And then he goes, "You know you look like a rat. Shut up." And I was like,
he didn't want you to retort. He was like, "I know that wasn't creative, but please don't come back at me."
And I was like, every fiber of my being wanted to be like, I genuinely don't think that I do.
I actually have a real concern about this one. Like,
yeah, like I looked around confused to the other people in my platoon, and they were like confused too. They were like, I mean, Scooter looks a lot more like a rat than him. But that guy's name was already Scooter.
Like, we need to figure out who is a rat boy so that we can show him for reference what he needs to be corrected.
The other
gotta
nickname,
be people that look like it.
Most of the time, people would just call me PG. That was everybody across the board. So after like 2, maybe 3 weeks in, they got to pick platoon guides, like just the guy in the platoon that was the leader for that platoon. And after like the second, like 2.5 weeks in, I got it at the rifle range. One of my drill sergeants pulled me aside. He's like, "You're the leader." Because of other stuff. This is more story time, but like I was the PG, so everyone just called me PG for the rest of the time, and they never switched me out. They were supposed to do it like once a week. After the PG messes up, they're like, "Do the new guy." But we just kept winning every event. So they're like, we have to keep him, right? Like, this is way more important. So yeah, I won the shooting competition. So like a few weeks later, we went to the explosives range. We got to do the grenade launcher attachments on our M16s. Mostly firing sim rounds, but they still do the thump and then shoots the red ball out there. It's a lot of fun, and it's the range is like 800 meters long, and it's just riddled with old tanks and cars and stuff that are out of commission, and you just like pick a target and try and hit it. Wow. And after our full day learning how to fire these things, they were like, "Hey, rat boy, come here," because it was that guy. It was that guy that was there, and he was like, he stopped me before I walked onto the rocket range, and he was just like, "Why the hell are you PG anyway?" And then my other drill sergeant was there, and he was like, "Oh, he helped everyone pass the rifle range. Like, he was out there doing all this stuff." And then I didn't say anything, and the drill sergeant, the dick was just like, Oh, so you think you're better than me, huh? You think you can teach people, but you think you're a drill sergeant, huh?" And I was like, "No, drill sergeant, I think I'm a private." And he's like, "Oh, well, if you think you're a drill private, here, take my badge." And he took his drill instructor badge off of his vest and put it on me. And I was just like, ugh, fine. Like, at this point, I was just more annoyed than anything at this guy.
He's trying to get out of his job, essentially. He's like, I hate being a douchebag, please. Take this burden from me.
No. That was the one thing that he liked to do, was be a douchebag. I have some more stories I can tell you about this guy on a different day. But so I go out to the rifle range, they give me the rocket, and they let 2 people shoot. They have 2 rockets, so they're like, we're going to let 2 people shoot. And it was me and then another drill sergeant. And he wasn't mine. He was like 2nd platoon's drill sergeant. I didn't really know him, but he treated me like a normal person, so he's cool in my book. And they give you 3 sim rounds to get your aim right. And I don't know why this is just a thing that I'm good at, but I'm really good at shooting anything. Rifles, pistols, machine guns, rocket launchers. I've shot an automatic grenade launcher with pinpoint accuracy. Even like bows and arrows, dude. I've never practiced this stuff.
Incredible at Worms 3D. That's
oh my gosh, yes.
I don't know. I'm terrible at Call of Duty. I can't shoot for anything on that. But
no, Worms 3D is more realistic. We'll have to play that together as a squad.
Please, Alive needs to be done with.
You give me a real gun that can do damage to someone, and I know it, and I just know how to do it. So all 3 of my sim rounds hit the tank dead on, and then they give me the rocket. And Ryan, have you ever fired a missile before?
I know I haven't done explosive stuff, which bums me out.
It is a wild experience. So first of all, they have to teach you to look over both shoulders and yell "backblast area clear," because if there's somebody standing behind the rocket launcher within a 45-degree angle, 75 meters away, they will die. The closer they are, the quicker their death.
The more die they get.
Yeah. So you have to turn and make sure nobody's back there and nothing is back there that can be damaged. And then you lock on and, you hold, there's a piece, there's the D-ring with the strap, and you just hold that. That's what you hold for balance. And then you hold it, there's a shoulder thing, and then you hold on with your right hand. There's just a red button where your thumb goes very naturally. And once you get locked on, you just take a deep breath out, steady yourself, and hit the button. And the recoil...
Ryan looks very turned on right now.
Yeah, he is.
It's a little wiggle. I'll be honest with you.
I don't know how you're gonna. I don't know how you're gonna react to these next few parts. Then.
Hey, hit me with it. Let's find out.
So I'm wearing high-tech military-grade ear protection. Ear Pro is what we call it. And it's got the HPF built in. I can hear voices. I can't hear lows. It's very high-quality stuff. I still have mine. But when I fired this, it was so loud I went deaf I went fully deaf for probably 10 seconds. And then it started to come back with a ringing. After the 10 seconds, but I went fully deaf while wearing military grade ear pro, and then the concussive force of just firing the rocket is enough to knock you out for just a few tenths of a second. As soon as I pressed that button, there were a few tenths of a second that went by that I don't have memory of.
Those weren't real. Those didn't exist. Yeah.
You feel like you just got shoved through a 60-minute massage in 1 second. Your whole body is...
Oh my God.
Your whole body vibrates, and then you're just you feel like you've just been beat up, basically. You lose hearing, you lose feeling in your whole body for a few tenths of a second. All I remember is I clicked the button, I lost all my senses, and then when I got them back, a tank was exploding.
That's the coolest coming back story of all time. Just
but I didn't see it go. I didn't see it hit. I just saw it explode. And then very slowly, I started hearing all of the people, all the other soldiers, all the other kids They're kids. Full adults that joined the military. Kids. That's exactly what they were doing. They were cheering. They were like, "Woo!" But I couldn't hear it. I was just like, it was just slowly coming back of just like, "Woo!" And then like the explosion, I couldn't hear the explosion. It took like a few seconds for the rumbling to be heard. And I was just standing around like, did I do that? Like I was Steve Urkel, but it was just genuinely because I didn't know what was going on. I was like, did I do that? And like even my drill sergeants were like, hit me on the back. They're like, good job, kid, you did it. And I was like, okay.
All right then.
Yeah, and then the drill sergeant went, and he fired his 3 sim rounds, and then he fired his regular rocket, and he missed the tank. He hit below the tank, and he hit a soft spot in the ground, and it did not explode.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So, a few things happened in that moment. One, we all went, there's a live explosive on this range right now. 2, someone was like, we'll call EOD. And then 3, every single drill sergeant there immediately hated me for not only outshooting everyone in my platoon, outshooting the lieutenant colonel of the battalion, but now, in front of everyone, outshooting a drill sergeant with a live rocket.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So
what you're saying is you should be a very high-ranking officer in the army right now.
This was. I mean, if I took the classes, yeah.
They probably don't promote the people that they now all universally hate.
Right. This was still pretty early in training, so they didn't they weren't liking everyone yet. But I got them all on my side except for the one guy. But yeah, so everyone hates me, and at this point, I'm just like, well, that was fun. I wish I didn't do it. And I'm walking back to the stands, and as I'm walking, I see the one drill sergeant nobody likes off to the side where he was, and I start walking toward him to return his drill sergeant badge. And as I'm getting closer, he goes, "Hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Come back here. Give me that badge back." And I was like, I was coming to give it to you.
I was smoking at
I don't want this. This is a target. I don't want it.
This feels bad. Yeah.
So you can please take it. And then he goes, "You're going to be a private forever." And I was like, okay, all right. That's fine. I wish I didn't do any of this. I regret signing up.
I'm gonna go become a comedian in Florida. That's what.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I'm
that
gonna
was
truck drive until comedy works out, and here we are. I'm gonna make political commentary about this idiot.
So yeah, that was me blowing up a tank with an AT-4 anti-tank rocket. I have a lot of other stories from basic that I can tell because just so much dumb stuff happened. So maybe a different day. But that was blowing up a tank with a rocket, and why I wish I didn't do
so
it.
Much.
That was pretty amazing.
Oh, I can't wait for more basic stories and things it's gonna be fun. I love my version is I'm excited to hear him, and Ben's I want to die.
Yeah. I don't care about military stuff at all, and I'm really good at it for no reason.
That's what makes it fun, is the fact that you don't care at all, and you're just here's what happened.
Okay,
that's just
I think next week I'll tell a story about the time I won the Best Warrior competition trying to come in second.
You're Dash from The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Get second.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. I'll do that story next week. But Ryan... You like to shoot stuff too, so let's hear about that.
I do. Well, I was born and raised in Missouri, so you kind of come out with a 22 and you just start going from there. But no, I shot my first gun when I was 5 years old, and so they were like, "Hey, here's a rifle, go shoot cans," and I was like, "I can shoot cans."
Absolutely.
That's what 5-year-old Ryan sounded like.
Yeah.
Hi, good to see you.
Your voice has changed, Ryan.
Thanks, mom, sister. I'm gonna go shoot.
Puberty brought a bit more high pitch in him. It was a reverse.
Yeah, it did. It went completely reverse. Yeah. I'm Benjamin.
5-year-old Ryan was walking around "I'm just Ryan from the boondocks, so let's get to it. Yeet, yeet." I drive a Raptor that I bought with my daddy's money. High five.
I do want to sidetrack this and ask just randomly because I'm curious. Have you ever chewed tobacco, Ryan?
I've never done I've never done tobacco or any type of drugs.
Okay, I just well,
same.
Is it a drug? I don't know. I just know
Sure.
that it's very. I've seen it in movies. That's all I've seen, and so I just wanted to.
Yeah,
It's very common.
I never have. I did know people that did, but like
A lot of military
I've
personnel.
heard it tastes terrible.
yeah. Well, that's the thing is I
You're
never
also
understood
not
that.
supposed
Like,
to swallow.
yeah, I've never said this before, but don't swallow. Quote Deadpool. Anyway,
That's
okay,
really
right.
hard
Yeah,
for me.
that was a
That's
Deadpool
really hard
one.
But yeah, so like, but oh gosh.
Okay.
Anyway, pretty early on, like, so I started shooting like a lot of guns, and I had like fascination, and then I started getting picked up for like doing like government-y kind of things for a while. We'll have different
Right,
stories
picked up
for
for
that.
the right reasons by the government, not because you were a 5-year-old in the woods in Missouri shooting a whole bunch of guns.
No. They picked me up because I was a 16-year-old with a photographic memory and kind of a yeah. That's why they were there for that. It was
Right,
weird.
okay.
It was a strange time. We'll tell that story later. Involves getting tackled inside a very high-profile government building.
I love those stories.
It's
I have one about at a grenade range, but yours sounds fun too.
Oh my god! Welcome to next week. This week. Anyway, yeah. So I've shot everything from like fully automatic shotguns. Like the only thing I haven't done is like fully automatic handguns, 50 caliber handguns, like rifles of all sorts.
A rocket launcher.
That's the only thing I haven't done is explosives, and I really wanted the H&K fully automatic grenade launcher. It just looks like fun. But
Ryan is like, how many? I've never fired an explosive before, so let's do all of them all at once. Bro, just get a Mark 19. You should go shoot a Mark 19 automatic grenade launcher. Oh, you said HK.
HK makes their own variant, and I do love it. Like HK is my favorite like company, but I will say the Mark 19 is like, mwah.
Bro, it's heavy. It's heavy as hell.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's a fully automatic grenade launcher shooting 40 mils.
It.
What? Hold on. How does one? Not through the firing process, I hope. Just
through the firing process. I wasn't the one shooting, but I was like 25 feet away, I think.
This was during basic training as well?
No, this was during Cold Steel, which is a weapons training they do in Wisconsin for 3 weeks.
That sounds like an aggressively gay porno, but carry on. Like,
yeah. It's
are you shooting that grenade launcher?
Yeah.
It's a vehicle fire. It's a vehicle fire training course. So I was the gunman, but they gave me the smallest one. It was the 249. They gave me the 249, which had just been upgraded again to a crew fire weapon. And I was like, this takes one person. And all of the stuff on the range doesn't respond to 5.56 rounds. Mm-hmm. So I was hitting them and nothing was going down until I hit it like 80 times. And they were like, you're just really bad at shooting. I was like, roll the video. And they recorded everything. I was like, there's the hit, there's the hit, there's the hit, there's the hit, there's the hit. And they're like, oh, you passed. And I was like, yeah, I have perfect aim.
I know what's going on here. Like,
I have shot sergeants in basic training.
Listen to me right now.
I'm Ben Brainard.
Put me on on the crow's nest of a moving vehicle, standing on a phone book because I'm not tall enough to actually do it. Throw gas at me. Watch me put the gas mask on, pot back up, and then hit another moving vehicle 700 meters away with a crew serve weapon that barely has that point effective distance, and I will hit it with every bullet every time, and you can put it on video.
I'm just picturing the legends of Rat Boy, like circulating throughout the army. They're like, there was this boy named Rat Boy, and he shot perfect aim every single time.
What happened to Rat Boy, Sergeant? We don't know.
He
went off to become a comedian. Yeah. He went to fight the real war.
Now.
Yeah, he went to go fight the real war. Floridians.
By the way, that one drill sergeant was the only one that ever called me Rat Boy. Nobody else did it because they were like, he doesn't look like a rat. I don't know where you're getting
at all.
this.
Yeah,
no, not even close. You don't even look mousy. I know, and they're related. Yeah, so it's like how, not even close.
I'm squirrely at best. And that's just because of how I fight.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So here's the thing. This is gonna be the most Missouri thing that I think I say is that one day, like me and some buddies were bored, and his grandfather had served in World War II, so we had like a bunch of World War II guns, and we were like, well, what do we have to do today? And they're like, nothing. And then we're like, well, my dad's got a whole bunch of these, like not my dad, but this dude's dad had a whole bunch of like fire extinguishers that were like defunct, like they'd expired.
Sure, that's safe.
Like,
yes, please shoot those.
Yeah, well, so we were like, let's go take fire extinguishers and shoot them with guns. We're like, yeah, let's do it. So we drive out to a farm, and we set up.
Quick pause, Dan. If you're at all taken aback by this, I just want you to know you're the only one. This was my immediate thought. Was like, yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't even have taken them anywhere. I would just put them in my yard.
He lived in the middle of the city, and we were like, we probably can't, like, we can't kill Mrs. Jenkins on accident.
Right, yeah, this Mosin Nagant is a bit loud, don't you think?
He did have a Mosin Nagant. That's what he had. Like, we did a Mosin Nagant. We did a
Those things hurt,
we did like,
man.
Yeah,
just
they're not fun.
Shoot. No. You're just gonna bruise right here every single shot. And I shot one for like 8 times, and I was like, I think I'm done.
I've had enough of this.
This isn't
that
fun.
one was cool though, because we just wanted to hear the ding, and that was always fun, which was a terrible feature. But yeah, I was the only one that hit. It's funny because I shot less than, because my other 2 buddies were like, they got more redneck in them than I do. Mm-hmm. And they had to take a couple shots to hit it, and mine hit first try, and I was like, I got you rednecks, which they didn't love that. But here's the thing:
I have that story too. But with like legit like retired military, retired police officers took me and several friends. This was a youth group. This was a church youth group. They took us out to a shooting range with a bunch of weapons. They had AK-47, they had a Desert Eagle, they had like all this stuff. And this was before I went military, so I had never picked up any of these weapons before. Other than like a .22, I'd never really shot anything. And they set up a makeshift firing range. They had milk jugs, they had all this. And then in the back, like 40 or 50 meters deep, hanging from a fishing line, they had an empty shotgun shell. And they jokingly were like, yeah, we hung that up there just to see. None of us could hit it. If you guys hit it, we'll get you a prize. And I was like, okay. And so I took the AK-47, and with my first shot, I blew it off the string. And the guy was like, what in the actual hell?
And
I was just like, well, that was fun.
I had a good time. Did anyone else?
I was like 16, and I was acting like, why was that hard? Like,
what part? Also, like an AK-7.62 is not fun to shoot.
No,
like that is heavy. Like it sucks.
Yeah,
but it was.
I know that. Yeah, I know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of people that are totally lost this entire.
Here's the thing.
I am
at
one
this
of them.
point. The important part is, I like part of this adventure is because it was rednecky and fun. I almost got shot in the head, and I feel like that's the important.
That's what makes it fun.
That's what makes it spicy. It made it spicy because we had a whole bunch of extra fire extinguishers, so we were shooting them with all these different rifles. And then my buddy was like, "I wonder if a handgun will be able to kill this fire extinguisher." And I was like, "First off, you're not like I
absolutely
don't,
not.
No." And Ben's 100% correct. And I knew this beforehand, but me, my buddy Jake, and it was my buddy Drew,
handgun?
A 9.
Oh, no, bro, that's not piercing anything.
No, it's not.
I am surprised every time it pierces skin.
Right, correct. Right.
I
it's
have
just because
safety
it's going fast
goggles. I have safety goggles that can deflect a 9mm.
Right. It's just like, it's always one of those things where it's like, this should not do much. And I saw that, but we all stood over the fire extinguisher.
Real quick, just as a disclaimer, the tip is pointed enough, that's why it pierces skin. But the problem is it doesn't have enough power a lot of times to leave. So that's why they do so much damage, because they get inside, they don't have enough power to leave, and they just bounce around your insides. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're so deadly. Not because they are a deadly bullet. Like if someone shot you with an M16, a 5.56, that bullet is going through you and you're getting fixed. Unless it hits a major organ, a 5.56 is going through you, it's going to do damage, but it's a lot easier to fix. A 9mm is going in you and staying in you.
Well, once you have a bullet tumble, that with as well as like because the 45 is so much slower, it does that. Well, that's interesting that you actually mentioned that, is because like part of like war strategy very specifically is to injure, not kill. Because if you injure someone, then it takes 2 other people to lift them off the battlefield and go. And so you are taking out 3 people with 1 shot. So it's weird that people don't like realize that that's why it's beneficial to go through. But yeah, of course, with like war and terror and things like that, it's a little different now.
Yeah.
But yeah. But anyway, like long story short, we're standing over this fire extinguisher like a bunch of idiots, and my buddy Drew's like, I wonder if this will puncture it.
Standing over it?
It's not an intelligent move.
Okay. No. I mean, I've heard intelligent moves, I've heard unintelligent moves, and then there's this.
Yeah, no, it's a low bar. So we're standing over it, and he's got a 9, and he just like he
Best
shoots.
case scenario, the fire extinguisher explodes. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no. Well, here's the
Okay.
thing. It wasn't really like, honestly, because they were expired. Like they weren't exploding. I mean, they'd explode a little bit and then kind of like
Right,
spin
there's
out.
still
It was kind of-
pressurized canisters.
Ben, you were thinking way too not Florida right now. I'm gonna need you to get back into Florida
Clearly,
mentality.
I had one thought, Ryan. My Florida instincts are like, yeah, that'll explode. That was my immediate instinct.
And
Yeah,
you should have
there's
thought the
the-
Florida feeling,
which is
which is
funny.
fun.
There's Florida, and then there's Missouri.
Missouri's like, let's shoot it. Florida's like, let's shoot it because it'll explode.
Yeah. No, I guess that's fair. So anyway, we're standing over this, and my buddy Drew, he double taps a 9 into it, and the first one goes like forward, and the second one, because it made a dent, it ricocheted, and it just went right to the left of my head. I'm talking
You're
like
no
probably
longer
like 2
friends
inches.
with this person, right? Immediately, that moment, you'd be like, yeah, no, we shouldn't ever hang out.
Crazy thing, I actually went to his wedding. He got married on my birthday, the pleb. I told him, look, if you get married on my birthday, I'm wearing a sash that says happy birthday. That happened.
Did you do it?
Of course I did it. Are you kidding? I'm not gonna
Okay.
Like, you don't get married on a friend's birthday. It's me, because he was like, I'm getting married in April, and I was like, look, man, as long as it's not the 18th, I don't care what day it is. And then he got married on the 18th, and I was like, I hate you. I hate you so much. This is my day, dang
Yeah.
it.
His
You're
wife-
like
his
cutting
wife
the wedding
was-
cake. You're like,
right?
This is my cake.
Yeah.
His wife was like, what day do you want to get married? And he's just like, I don't know why, but April 18th is really stuck in my head.
I want to hate Ryan forever. Like, and I tried to kill him and failed. Let's kill him emotionally now.
Yeah, so your
But
buddy,
yeah, and so
double
here's the thing,
tap from point blank.
Yeah, but he went back because he was like, "Oh, that didn't work. I wonder if I can." And me and my buddy Jake both went, "No, stop!
didn't-
We
what?
stop now! Like it's not."
No, I'm sorry. Where was he going to stop? After you both were dead?
He was
He's
gonna
like,
try to keep
now it's
shooting
only
until
me?
it broke through. That's what he wanted.
He said, I want to play Russian roulette, but I don't have a revolver, so
Well, we've got Ricochet. That's fun.
we've got bad luck and chance.
Yeah, and so that's that
power
was
of physics.
that was the closest time I've ever come to being shot in the head, which would have been bad. But here I am. One of those other near-death times. Dan, I've heard that you went shooting, and I
Ryan's
heard that
like,
it
let's
went
get off this topic real quick.
He's like,
we're
"Yes, I
not gonna be
almost
here."
died. Anyway.
Hey, who's or what's it?
Dan went shooting and something else shot off, is what I'm hearing.
I love this story.
Yes. Obviously, being gay, shooting was never a thing for me, right? So, but I would say that there is.
I don't think that's how.
There's at least a desire. There's a desire, a human desire to shoot
There's-
a gun at some point in your
Sure.
life,
I'm
right?
just saying, there's a lot of gay men in the military. We just don't ask.
Yeah.
Nor do you
okay.
tell.
Okay, but they're
They
like
tell.
military gays. I'm talking. I'm a city gay. I like tequila. There's things that are.
I like
Know,
Pilates.
there's different kinds of gays, right? So, I am not those.
So what you're saying is hot yoga round, like hot yoga gays are not hot rounds gays. Gotcha. Cool. Just
Yeah,
just
for sure, for
clarifying.
sure.
Carry on.
Anyway, so yes, so the story I'm going to tell is about a time where I was in the closet, and my sister. As we all know, Mormons are very big on dating because they want to get married.
Absolutely.
And my sister had just recently come back from her mission in France, and she had a homie who had also served there.
A homie.
And what you need to know about my sister is that she had the worst luck with dating closeted gay men. She dated
I think you
at
mean
least.
the best luck.
Well, the luck was in my side, not her side.
It's still the good luck because she at no point is she gonna get married too young to a guy that was the wrong choice.
Also, wait, I got a question.
maybe.
Dan, this seems important to ask. Did you ever date any of your sister's ex-boyfriends or like guys that like?
No, I've never done that. And I can
Have
be
you wanted
honest
to?
in that they have expressed interest after I came out. And after they came out, but I said no, just because that's a little weird for me.
It's definitely weird. That's why I
should
wanted
do
to
it
know if it
anyway.
had happened.
Look, whenever
also,
you
my
run
sister
out of
my sister told me they're bad at kissing. So that's something that I
Well,
don't
yeah,
want.
because they didn't want to kiss her.
They didn't want to
Like,
kiss
I mean,
her.
this is not.
They didn't like the touch of a woman.
That is the tea. That is the tea there. I'm sure if there's a little more passion in it.
If at any point you run out of story time, you should just go back one at a time and date all of your sister's ex-boyfriends.
I'll rank them for everybody.
Absolutely, please do.
So it'll be fantastic.
Oh my
Set up a
gosh!
whole
like a
Google
March
spreadsheet.
Madness chart.
Anyway, so my sister was dating all of these gay men, just going on dates with them, and
Same time.
At
It was wild.
one point, now again, I can't talk about this and saying like this person was definitely the way that it is, right? Most of them have come out, but I don't know about this person quite yet. So I'm going to leave it open and saying maybe not. But my gaydar was going off, as well as the fact that this man told us on a regular basis how much he liked kissing men, but that he was straight. Those two things don't compute, baby. Those things.
I know.
It's a little bit confusing. Anyway, so my sister says, "Hey, I'm going shooting," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome. I've never shot a gun." Oh well, and then we talked and hung up the phone, and that was it. The day of the actual date, where she was supposed to go shooting with this boy, she calls me and says, "Are you coming?" And I said, "What?"
No,
And
because
she
Dan,
said-
I don't know if you picked up on this. You're supposed to go on dates with your sister's ex-boyfriends. I don't know.
I think we've all put
She
it
knows
together.
this. We know this. You are the only one that don't know this.
Yeah, just me being closeted gay again. I guess I just don't know how it works. I don't know how dating works. Anyway,
Hey, I don't think your sister did either. I think you're fine. Like that's just.
so she's like, "No, you're supposed to be coming with me," and I was like, "What do you mean I'm supposed to be coming with you?" And she was like, "You're supposed to come with me because I want you to come with me because I'm pretty sure this guy doesn't want to really date me. I don't know. It's
Yo,
a
your
different
sister was
situation.
wingmanning for you.
Kind of, but
I
also
think
she was
just
scared
didn't
for
wanna
her
get
safety.
Murder
Yeah.
was
Okay.
like.
Yeah, she was like, "Hey, I'm going into the mountains with a random guy. Can you come and be there in case we get like shot?" And I was like, "No."
You just want me to die with you, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
turn this single
she's
homicide
like,
into a
"If we're going
double
down, we're going
fun."
down together.
You should have been like,
Yay.
"Hey, listen, if I go with you, who's gonna call in the missing persons report?"
Well, I love that at this point, like she's thinking she's about to go on a date with someone who sounds like a serial killer, and she just wanted that part in his like his documentary to be like, and this time he killed a man. Weird, like that.
Yeah.
That was a crime of opportunity, not so much a crime of passion.
Yeah, it was just such a weird situation to be in. But I agreed. I reluctantly agreed, mainly because
To go as a third
there is a
wheel.
small desire in every human at some point, I think.
Just to shoot
where it's
once.
just like, I just want to shoot a gun to see what it feels like, to see what it, what does
She
it
kind of
do?
experienced that part of life. I totally actually agree with that. I had a friend who was like, he hated guns, never wanted to do it, and then one day I was like we were bored, and I didn't know that about him. But he was like, I was like, "Do you want to go shooting?" He was like, "Okay,"
Why
and he
not?
tries it, and in the first shot, he goes, "This is amazing!" And I was
It's
like, "There
weirdly
you go."
invigorating. It's weirdly invigorating.
I never got that. I shot a lot of weapons a lot of time. I think it's just because like
You
the
were shooting
first...
guns that were knocking you out, Ben. So that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
understandable.
your guns weren't fun guns.
It's like also doing it in basic for the first time is not a fun experience because it's just people
Yeah.
angry at you, yelling, and you're just like, I have a live gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, yell
Imagine
at children.
doing that, but not getting yelled at. You know what I mean? Like it's way better.
Like
It's way
I've
better.
gone to shooting ranges, and now it's just like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Ugh,
I get that could be kind of like work. You know what
my
I mean? Like it's almost
shoulder
like going to work.
hurts. I have to
Yeah.
clean this now. It's hot. I'm sweating. Like I could be playing Pokemon. Like
Me and Ryan were definitely playing Pokemon while you were in basic.
We were playing.
I was
If we
not.
weren't filming this podcast right now, I'd be playing Pokemon. So
Yeah.
like I'm not kidding.
I
anyway.
was playing Existential Crisis. That's what I was playing.
Less fun. Way less fun.
Way less fun.
Anyway, Dan, the double homicide. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, yes. Double homicide. Basically what ended up happening was that I agreed and I said, okay, yeah, we'll see what happens.
I'll third
we
wheel
go with
you.
this guy, and he was like, and I just want to like preface this in saying my sister and I didn't think badly of him. We didn't think like, oh, this is the.
You just thought
it was just
gaily
a
of him.
concern because again, my sister and I have never shot guns, and we've never known people who've shot guns. We did know like hunters back in Africa, but they were always a little bit douchey, and so we were like, this is weird. Plus, my sister also, I asked her. It wasn't really the murder aspect motivating her. It was mainly that she was just like, I just don't want to go on a date by myself. So you're coming with me, third wheel.
So I'm bringing my closeted brother.
Yes, on a date with a guy that also may be in that situation. So again, maybe wingmanning it.
Wingmanning for sure. She wanted this
for you. Well, and again, it was like a friend from her French mission. So yeah,
Ooh,
again, not
foreign.
speaking to you. Well, yeah. So anyway, well, actually, he was from Utah. He just served in France with her. It was really.
I feel
weird.
like serving is not the right term.
That's what they say.
Mormons should change that.
We served a mission.
My friend served in Afghanistan, so
oh my God,
a little bit different.
Doesn't feel right.
But surprisingly, same outcome. Not a single person turned Mormon.
Right. Oh my God.
Anyway, so this guy picks us up and he's like, okay, I've got a whole bunch of gallon milk gallons. Yeah.
Okay, that was just a dumb guess, but yeah.
He put a whole bunch of dye in it. He got a whole bunch of he went to I guess Goodwill.
Right.
We call it something different here.
So he
DI.
arts and crafted this shooting range.
Pretty much. He was like, we're going to shoot pottery. We're going to shoot a
We're gonna
rainbow.
go.
We're going to shoot the rainbow.
He said we're going to go shooting.
We're getting signs here.
Let's metaphorically shoot our gayness. Kill it!
I just have a lot of pent-up rage. I don't know where. Let's go shooting.
Anyway, so we're chilling there, and he starts pulling out all the guns, and now we're like, okay, this is funny. This is interesting. He pulls out
we're
what
gonna
looks
pull
like
out the
regular guns, and I can't tell you. I know you guys are gun people. I don't know what gun he was pulling out. They just looked like guns, and I was like, great, we're shooting guns.
He's like, these are the guns, and these are the crafts I got from Michael's.
You joke, but that was exactly how it was.
When we shoot it, it'll explode. Yay!
Oh my gosh.
So he climbs up this, and I remember we had gone up this canyon, and we just went to this random spot. It was literally like a hillside, essentially. Sure. And then randomly, he just pulls out this long gun.
A long
that's super old. I don't know what it was. It was one of those ones where you put the gunpowder in.
A musket.
A little musket.
He pulled out
thing,
a Civil War musket.
I'm not even joking. It was like
Which
a full-on musket.
Which side was he intending
there's a
on
video
fighting
of him.
on?
Also, playing on. Also, who pulls out a musket? Hey, let's go on a fun shooting thing. Let's put a 75 caliber ball inside. With
he pulls out the musket. He goes, back in the day, they would have called me a Minute Man, but today they just call me a bad lay.
Anyway, so as he's doing this, obviously he's flirting with my sister,
Is it at this point? I don't think it's obvious at this point.
Well,
and you're playing the marching drums from the Civil War, and we're about to start the revolution. Dun, dun,
okay, so you're flirting with your sister, and it's gonna change. I have a feeling.
Well, so this is the weird part. So he's flirting with my sister.
Flirting with your sister?
No, he's not doing
the whole time. He's just stuffing the gunpowder.
Gay guy, and you were like, "Is he doing it well?" Never.
He's just like, so you come here often while stuffing the gunpowder and looking at you, winking, just like this could be you next.
Okay,
big
so that's
boy.
the weird thing. So he's prepping regular guns for my sister. Right, he preps the regular guns, and he's like, "Okay," and she starts shooting, and she's like, "This is so fun." He goes to the musket, and he's like, "So Daniel, I'm gonna let you shoot this one." And I know you were joking about the references, but he starts staring at me, and he's like, we're gonna put the
You
gunpowder
really-
in.
Yeah, you really gotta pack it deep. Oh.
I was like, what the hell is happening? I don't know what's going on. And again, I am not comfortable with my gayness at this point. I'm like, oh no,
I
this
don't know
guy.
I don't know if you're
This guy suggests me.
aware.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if you're aware, but usually you have to bring some gun lube to get this bad boy stuff. But I forgot it at home. Saliva works though.
I knew it was going to be a spit joke. I felt it coming. Oh my gosh.
That's what we do, though. We
Anyway.
do grease our weapons with spit if we don't have. And they tell you not to do it, but they say it while spitting on your gun.
No, you don't want to do this.
Yeah, they're just like, we're out of the lube. Don't do this though.
Anyway, so he takes the gun and he stares at me and it's like, you want to make sure that you have your eye on the target, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I was like, okay.
Sir,
whatever.
your eye is on me. He's like, yes, keep your eye on the
That's
target.
thing. As he's staring at me, he's like this, and then he randomly shoots his head, shoots it, and looks back and is like I don't know if it was like a Puss in Boots kind of thing for him, where it was like, do you see how impressive I am? I just shot that thing over
No,
there.
Dan, he's clearly appealing to the part of you that loves men. He's like, look at how much man I am. I know that you like men. Maybe you don't know it yet, but I know it, and you know about me. We know it. My gaydar, your gaydar, sinking, just like woman's period. Can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs? Look at me. Look at me looking at you. Look at you looking at me. I can shoot guns. I can stuff and squeeze. Look at that pull-out game. It goes so quick.
Yeah, and again,
That was such a series right there.
I loved it.
I had a
loved
lot
it
of
all.
things to say very quickly.
Well, but again, I think this is the difference. He's definitely a country gay, and I'm definitely a city gay. And so it was like, okay, whatever.
I've been hit on by country gays, and that is a weird moment. I was in a Denny's, and this dude came in. Yeah, it's gonna get weird.
Denny's is a gay
That's how
bar
you know they're
for.
country gays.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of it. Well, here's the thing. Guy walks in, got a camo jacket on, got like jeans on, and he's with like two other dudes. And I'm with me and my buddy, who we are just like not a sight to behold because it's like 2 a.m. We just gotten off like finals for college. We look atrocious. And this dude kind of comes up to
you
me.
look like two men that just got out of a gay bar.
Oh, could also have been an option.
Yeah, there's
to be
no
honest.
difference,
Yeah.
Ryan. And you know what you
you're right,
look like.
You're right. That's fair. Oh, I get it. Oh,
Yeah.
is it the soft features? I think it's the soft
He
features.
took a guess, and honestly, he should have been right.
He should have been, but he was wrong. But it was shocking because he came up to me and I was like, and then at one point, like he's talking like he didn't feel like he was hitting on me. Granted, I have no flirtation radar at all. Like I've had girls pretty much throw themselves at me, and I just don't understand.
And you're
I'm
like,
you
I
shouldn't-
can't
you
catch.
shouldn't be
I'm
doing
sorry,
this.
my hand-eye coordination is terrible.
It's off. How do I do this? But at the end, he left his number and then walked away. And I was like, I'm confused. I'm sitting there and watching this country. I walk away. And then I noticed that his jeans were bedazzled. And I was like, I see it
Country
now.
gay.
Country
Country
gay.
gay.
Exactly.
Country gay,
It was just
take
like-
me
Country
home to Danny's where you roam. Oh, Missouri.
Country gay bar. Actually, that was in Michigan. Yeah. Anyway, Dan, back to so he's looking at you. He's puss in boots in you, which I want that to come into common parlance.
That's a verb now.
Basically, what ended up happening was that he was like, "Okay, now it's your turn to do that, like
Right.
to put in the gunpowder,
And just,
stuff it down.
Make
with
sure
whatever
you
the thing
hold
is."
it like this. And he's just like, he's Patrick Swayze from Ghosting You, just like behind you, like stuffing the ramrod.
The ramrod.
That's what it's
That's
called.
what it's called. That's really a real thing. Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
He's stuffing the barrel with his ramrod, dude. Like that.
Oh no! This makes it so much worse.
And you're just on the pottery wheel, just like, oh, I'm gonna mess up
Yes,
this
you
face.
guys are joking. You guys are joking. I'm trying to stuff it, and I'm like, I'm kind of failing at this. His hand goes
You
over
are
my
flirting
hand.
with him
His hand
too.
goes over my head.
You're
and
just like,
says-
oh, I don't know. I just
I
can't
don't
figure
know what-
out this
Oh my gosh,
this
I don't know what
one
I'm
motion.
doing. Oh my gosh! I don't
If
know
only
what
there
I'm
was a
doing.
big, strong country gay here that could help me. And he steps up like, I can help you out.
Steel.
I can help you out, little lady.
Steel.
Cold Steel episode 3, country gay.
Anyway, so his hand is like help. Now he's like got his thing, and he's like, "This is what you want to do." He's got his hands on both of my hands like that, and I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Kind of
And
standing
you're
behind me,
feeling
and I'm like,
something.
and I'm feeling uncomfortable. I'm like,
Oh,
I don't
uncomfortable is
need-
what you're feeling. Okay.
well, I'm just feeling not nearly as gay. I'm feeling not nearly as
Suddenly, I'm straight.
Suddenly, great. Suddenly, I have this desire to watch Seinfeld. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so we're pumping the gun in, right? And my sister is like looking at me like, dude, what the hell? What is going on? And
I knew
was like,
I invited you
don't
for
know.
some reason.
I don't know. Anyway, so I was like, we get done doing it, and I was like, okay, cool.
We get done stuffing
Now,
the ramrod down the
stuffing the
barrel.
ramrod
Nothing,
down the
nothing
other
more,
rod, yeah.
nothing less.
Yes. Yeah. And I take the super long gun. It's just like huge. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, now what you want to do is you want to aim, you want to keep your eye on the target, something like this. He starts like teaching me. I don't know his exact advice, but he's like, you want to do that. And his head goes like this with my head.
Oh, right up
you
against
keep your eye
face.
on the target.
Right.
And he's like, you see that little thing over here? And I was like,
No, because he couldn't just point.
no, he couldn't. Just, he couldn't
He
just.
had-
he had
yeah.
to. He had to really let me know. He had to let me know that it was up there.
I think it'd be really funny if this man wasn't gay. He's just like, these are genuinely the best ways to teach someone.
yeah. He's just like, this is great. This is
We
fantastic.
tell him this story. He's like,
Also,
gay?
I like kissing.
No.
I like kissing men occasionally. Anyway, so I'm about to shoot, and he's like, hold on, your stance is all wrong. He behind me again.
Yes.
And it's like, we need to show
Welcome
you how
to mini golf on a first date. Let me show you how to swing a putter.
Okay, but again, he's not being. I want to preface this and also saying that he's not being like upfront kind of flirtatious gay. He is doing these weird things, but he's doing it in a closeted Mormon way, which is like, I'm not going to touch you fully, but I am going to get behind you and caress your arms gently and show you the right way to get into this sort of weird
I'm not going to
position.
caress you, but I am going to let you know that I'm here and that I want to.
Yes.
That's so much worse. Somehow, I don't know how it's
Because
it's so much worse.
it is 10,000 times worse, and that is how closeted gays flirt at BYU. It is the grossest thing because they don't want to break the law of chastity, guys. You're not allowed to break the law of chastity. You're not
Or the gay thing.
You're not allowed to let those thoughts cross your mind, but you can get as close as possible to that. That's the like weird mentality. Anyway, so
It's
he's doing
that
this.
scene from Stripes where they're in the house and they're like, we're going to play force field where you can't get close to me. And Bill Murray's like, I'm just going to touch you.
Anyway, I fire off my gun. I don't hit anything because I'm bad. And also his advice seemed not actually correct, right?
I feel like
it was
this whole time he was also firing his gun and didn't hit anything because his directions were just bad. Actually,
Anyway.
he missed so bad you became straight.
more straight than ever before. But this is the worst part. So we get done firing all the guns, doing all this sort of stuff, and it was just like a weird time. And then he asks my sister, because this is the thing, he keeps going back and forth between me and her for some reason. And he's like,
oh, you're
"You
both
wanna go
just
get
so
sushi,
attractive.
and we can drop your brother off and go
Bisexual.
get sushi." And she was like, "Daniel, you want to come get sushi with us?" And I was like,
Actually, I'm allergic to
"No,
seafood.
No,
No.
I don't. No, I don't want to do this." And she's like, "You want to come with us?" And I was like, "Okay, fine.
Yes,
I will."
okay.
We go to
I'll
the
go
sushi
hit on your
restaurant.
boyfriend.
We
at
go to the sushi restaurant. He literally, at this point, it felt like he was dating both of us because he starts paying he paid for the meal. And while he's paying for the meal and eating the sushi, he's like, "I love big rolls."
Uh-huh. Sure.
And my sister was like, "What the heck?" Anyway,
Yeah.
so
No, who
to
doesn't
finish that
love big
story,
rolls?
I don't have a really. That's just a whole bunch of weird information. I don't have a finishing joke for the story.
Okay,
but
did they go on
No,
another
it was
date?
the whole story.
They didn't. They never
No
went to
second
another
date.
date. My
And you
sister,
don't know how-
no, after that date, I had a very frank conversation with my sister where I was like, "Hey,
You gotta stop
you
dating
keep
gay men.
dating men that are probably closeted. You need to look elsewhere." And she's like, "But he fires guns." And I was like, You.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you not figuring this out? Like,
And I go to
He's a country
BYU.
gay. He's a country gay, Shelby. He's a
That's
country
what you.
gay.
That's what you should have said. It's just like he fires guns, and you're like, and I go to BYU. Like, we do stuff sometimes.
Hand in hand. But that is my story time about one of the only times I've ever shot guns.
and that was story time.
Yay! We heard about the time Ryan almost got shot and the time that Dan wanted to. And that brings us to our silly question of the day. Super silly. Delete. I'm just trying to improvise sounds. Anyway,
We're gonna have to get a soundboard. Yeah.
silly question. Toilet paper, over or under?
Over.
Over.
I wipe underneath.
Wait, whoa,
What?
Dan, we asked about the toilet roll, not the way that you wipe.
Oh my god.
I mean, we can get into that if you want to, but I feel like you just want to give us this information. Dan's like, oh yeah, no, I'm a front wiper actually. So, oh, that wasn't the question. My bad. This is a dentist office.
I don't wipe like this. No. Anyway, over. I'd say over.
yeah.
Wow,
I
we're
think
all
over is
agree.
correct.
Yeah, if you do under, you're wrong. The only time I've ever heard someone say, I do under because I have cats and my cat likes to play with the roll, and if it's over, it rolls down.
I can see. Okay.
That's cute. That's adorable.
And
that
I'm
makes
like,
me
okay,
happy.
yeah, don't have a cat. Like, if you
No.
think the biggest problem
You're so-
with the cat is that you have to flip your toilet paper the wrong way, close your bathroom door. Don't let your cat in.
Wait, that's also kind of a weird thing. Yeah, I don't know why.
Move
I'm
the
just leaving that
toilet
bad boy
paper
open.
roll so that the cat can't reach it
Don't put it on
comfortably.
an actual roll. Just let the toilet paper sit there or something.
I thought you
don't
just
know.
meant don't have cats, and I was like, but they're so sweet. They're so soft.
So
I love
cute.
them so much.
We're just looking 2 foster cats, guys.
Yeah, so
Oh my gosh. I'm coming to Utah.
over
I'll be
is
back.
right, under is wrong. If you do it that way, you're wrong. Congrats.
Or
we
you know what?
hate you.
Email us, letting us know why you do under. Because I want to.
Yes.
I want to know.
Okay.
like,
I want
that
another
question.
reason.
I'll do that.
I do want
yeah,
another
yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
See if you can convince me. You can't, but just see.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're moving on to Ryan's ridiculous history. Ba, ba,
Bow.
ba, 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 ba.
We all
So
get
today
a
we're talking
sound
about
for that one.
because it's military talk. Like we're going to talk about the most ridiculous. I call it the boom scooter.
The
but
boom
it's-
scooter.
It's the first. Well, it's not the first actually, which is crazy. But it's an anti-tank scooter that was made in the 50s by the French. And guys, it's literally.
It already
It's-
sounds ridiculous.
It's so. Oh, hold on, wait. I think I can share a screen right now. Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
share my screen. Here, guys, this is what the boom scooter looks like.
said the Florida
Uh,
chuckle.
Guys, can you guys see the boom scooter? That's the boom scooter.
What is that?
So
I-
that is a Vespa. That
I
is
am
that is
like-
a Vespa.
I'm like 90% sure that Indiana Jones rode this in one of his movies.
Oh, unquestionable. I mean, this is just so. Here's the crazy part. I'm gonna stop sharing that and go into like the chaos that is that scooter. So first off, that is a civilian Vespa that they were like, what if it had an M20 recoilless rifle on it? And they were like, of course.
Why not? Yeah, let's put a big boomstick on the zoom zoom.
There's like 3 or 4 parts that make this even more wild. First off, it was meant to be taken off and then shot. However,
Not a
it
chance.
could be shot, right? Like
Yeah.
why? Why would you take all
No,
the
we're
fun
not
out of it?
unmounting that monster.
Dude, it carries 6 like 75 millimeter recoilless rifle rounds that are armor piercing. So it's got 6 on the side as well as 2 gas cans. It could go like 200 miles before needing to refuel. This bad boy, here's the favorite part. It was made for paratroopers.
No, it was
Oh,
not.
wow.
Yes!
No.
Because it's called the Vespa 150 TAP, and the TAP is the French paratroops. It was meant to get dropped in.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm just picturing now just like a bunch of French soldiers parachuting down from the skies while mounted on a Vespa with just a cannon on the front of it. And they're coming down.
So
and-
much better.
Oh, but like that's perfect because you're just confused. You're looking up and you're like, what is this? The A team? What is happening here? And like the whole time The whole time, all you're hearing is, your mother was a hamster, and your father smelled of elderberries. And just the parachute is like sailing through the sky.
Has to do to like let itself fire off.
He's just rocking.
Boom.
Well, so
It's doing flips around the parachute every time he shoots it.
A couple things about this. They made it so it could be shooted. I'm dumb as that. I'm dumb. They made it so that it could be shot from
the Missouri came out in a.
It really did. I'll tell you what. That it could be shot from the Vespa. But not only that, so it was parachute dropped in, but it was parachute dropped in pairs. So someone had to be riding the back seat holding on while it happened.
Yes!
Right?
How would you like to be just the extra man? You're riding bitch on a boom scooter, dude. You're being dropped from the sky in a bitch seat on a boom scooter. And you have to be proud. I mean, you have to land that with pride.
I love it so much.
Just hold on to my hips. You won't fall off.
Don't worry. Hey, is this a
Nothing more romantic than getting fired at while parachuting down on a Vespa.
But yeah, that's really
real quick question. Would TLC consider him a scrub? Would he be a scrub? Because as we all know, a scrub is a guy riding passenger side in his buddy's ride. He can't trying to holler at me.
He's trying to holler at you. Yeah.
Imagine getting hollered at by the man riding bitch seat on a tank Vespa.
Hey, baby, can your Vespa take out tanks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just rolls up holding on to his male counterpart and just sees you at the corner of his eye and he's like, hey baby, ever ride a boomstick before? I can show you a good time on my boom scooter. Why don't you hop on board the handlebars? Is that okay, buddy? Hey, is that okay?
Can we take three?
Yeah, he said it's okay. You can get on the handlebars.
That's my favorite thing. It brings me so much joy that it exists. 600 of them were produced, by the way. So not like a tiny number. Like
it's
enough.
A tiny number.
And they apparently well, I mean, yeah, but not like it should have been one. Was it invented
by Vespa itself, or was it just like some random people were just like, we should put a gun on a Vespa? Of all vehicles to put something on, they were like, this thing that could probably get stuck in between a rock.
They didn't set out with the goal to make 600 boom scooters. They set out with the goal to make an infinite amount of boom scooters, but they got the 600 before literally anyone else with decision-making power was like, why?
Whoa, why? It's true. Apparently a couple of them were like airdropped into Algeria and things like that. Can you imagine being an Algerian and being like, we're going to win this war? You know what I mean?
Yeah. The French wonder why we laugh at them. You've given us Napoleon Bonaparte, and then the thing that Napoleon Bonaparte absolutely would have commandeered had he been alive.
Guys, I'm actually looking to see right now if I can purchase one of these.
You should be able to. I hope so.
Oh my gosh, it looks like I can. Oh, I'm definitely
How
much? I might 28,000 euros. Which is pretty expensive for this.
Yeah, that's probably like
cheaper. That's like 50, that's probably 40 grand.
I'm gonna say it's like probably like 33,000.
33?
Yeah, that's pretty. Should we do?
Also, let's start a GoFundMe. Let's get Ryan on a boom scooter.
Oh, that would be so much fun. It's funny. I actually also looked up how much to buy a tank, and it actually came up with
the
tank
seat
that I drove with. And I love
also Ben can go, I just want to film Ben flirting with people
from the back seat
as Ryan drives the
Oh my gosh, Ben, can this be a video? Can this be the first thing we film together? Like it's in the same place.
Try to find a place that will let us rent a boom scooter, and then we'll talk about that, because I'm not trying to buy a boom scooter right now.
Also,
just to do
I would
this
love
video.
to see you try and drive it down city streets and not get stopped by the police. They're like, is that a gun on your Vespa?
Yes, sir, it is. Now I suggest you get out of the way.
Guys, I was in Arkansas and I saw there was a Jeep with a mounted 1919 on the back of it, just chill. A 1919 like World War II, like just ready to go. And I was like, what is happening?
Absolutely.
I of course took pictures of it because Arkansas.
Arkansas is a weird state, man.
Arkansas.
kinda
All right,
beautiful,
so that is Ryan's ridiculous history. The boom scooter.
The boom scooter. I love the boom scooter.
Boom.
That
By the way,
brings
if
us
anybody,
to
genuinely though, anybody who's listening to this that knows where we can rent a boom scooter or just a tank, that'd be awesome. Thank you. Carry
I'm
on.
down. That brings us to Dan's LGBT-Q for the straights.
Boop, 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 boop.
That's the noise. Okay, so the LGBTQ for this week, or Qs, are ones of hygiene and taking care of your body. And I just want to know, I'm just doing a little bit of a checkup on you guys, okay?
Uh-huh.
The
Okay.
first, have you ever used a loofah?
Yeah. I don't use it frequently, to be honest. I understand it's good for exfoliation, but I do other things to exfoliate.
No.
Wait, what do you do to exfoliate? You made that sound really dangerous.
I just
You
use
made that sound
yeah.
so shady.
I just use washes. I just use washes that exfoliate.
Okay, good, because you made it sound a little concerning.
Yeah.
I do other things to exfoliate my body.
No, I just want to tell you the I get where it's weird. I get it.
No, I've never used a loofah. I've never even seen a loofah that I know. And on top of that, there's a thing around the villages in Florida called like the loofah secret or something like that. And it's a sexual thing. And I don't know exactly what it is, nor do I want to find out. But loofah does not have like the same meaning to me as it does to people that don't live in Florida or know that the villages has the highest growing rate of STDs in the entire country.
Way gross.
So-
That was
My second question of the three questions is, do you wash your feet?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Regularly? You wash
No.
your feet every day in the shower?
No. So, I wash my feet after I do like something that day that made me use my feet a lot. Like if I do a lot of walking, or I play basketball, or I go for like if I play soccer or something, I thoroughly wash my feet. But like the other few days that I shower and I haven't done anything that day, no, it's just kind of like I haven't left my bedroom today.
Okay.
I feel that. Yeah, I think I'm pretty similar to that. Yeah, where it's just like if I haven't done anything, but like most days, like if it's after a workout or things like that, then I'll wash my feet. On my feet to be nice.
But also like when I was doing military stuff and I was in the Mojave Desert for a month, I washed and lotioned my feet every single night because it was a lot of walking and it was really hot out and in boots that are not made for that much walking.
Those boots were not made for walking.
No,
Oh my
so I
gosh.
had to take care of
That's
my
what
feet
they'll do.
every day.
You weren't Puss in Bootsing. It was
No. I was just bootsing.
And the final question that we have is, do you shave your butt? I'm curious. I want to know. Get waxed.
No.
You could be waxed.
No, I haven't waxed, but honestly, Daniel Sauce made me think about it. It definitely it looked.
Yeah.
And, I bet it'd be comfortable.
It's so clean, guys.
Is it nice? Oh my
so
gosh.
fantastic,
Dan,
guys.
I don't even look at my own.
No, but I've definitely considered it though, and in fact, I'm considering it right now.
Okay. That's all I just wanted to check. I just wanted to make sure. It's just something to consider.
Sure.
There's nothing better than wiping and having no resistance. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, that's fair.
Guys.
That does
Okay,
sound
so now
fantastic.
you're starting to convince me.
Because that's all it is, right? There's obviously gay benefits to it, but
Hey,
straight men could benefit. Straight men could definitely benefit.
There's also
from
a lot
making
of
sure that area is
regular
just a little bit more.
straight benefits. Ben, maybe that's what we do when we all get together. We're gonna wax our butts and then get on a Vespa. Just to really confirm to people.
So gay. It doesn't matter if there's a gun on the Vespa.
Yeah,
waxing your butts and then getting on a Vespa immediately.
It's the gayest sentence I've ever said in my entire life.
We're gonna zoom down. We're gonna zoom down downtown LA, and everyone just eating outside is gonna be like, "What the hell was that?" Oh, that was just two gay men on a Vespa with a rocket launcher. And the other
Why
guy's
are they
gonna go.
smiling so big.
No, the other guy's
They
gonna
just
go.
had their asses waxed. That's
do
Yeah, they feel so
Vespa's-
clean.
Do Vespa's whistle? I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Dude, we'd have to get a bell on the Vespa. Ding, 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 ding.
We're coming. We're coming out.
Oh my
We're
gosh.
coming, and we're also arriving.
Anyway, that's my LGBTQs for the straights this
Yay!
week.
Oh my gosh.
And that
Beautiful.
brings us to Ben's breaking news. And this one was done a little bit different. And I think I enjoy this one a little bit more, where you guys find the headlines for me, and then I just have to make jokes about it in like the 15 minutes that we have leading up to the podcast. It really puts me on the spot. So this first one was mine. And there's a sketch coming out about it. I mean, by the time this podcast airs, the sketch will already be out. But Wyoming passes a law to create a $1.2 million fund to sue other states. Other states not so much mad as they are confused to find out that Wyoming is actually a real state.
Wait, hold on, question though. Sue them for what? Like,
So-
what's the...
The details behind it is Wyoming is actually the #1 state in the country for coal exports. It's not West Virginia, and it's not West Virginia by a lot. Like, Wyoming is by far and away, like, they produce like 40% of the entire country's coal.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's insane. And so they built this fund. They're running out of money because of COVID, so they're like, oh, what's a really good way to make money? Lawsuits. So they put this together, and they're now legally allowed to sue any state that infringes upon their state's economy with reference to being able to export coal. And they basically made this law specifically against Colorado because Colorado passed a law that would, a mandate rather, that would force them towards like almost full renewable energy by 2050. And there's like checkpoints they have to reach. So the way that Wyoming is doing the math that they've made up is anytime a state passes a law that moves towards renewable energy, that infringes upon their ability to sell coal and therefore destroys their local economy and should be sued for it.
So they're just the Westboro Baptist Church of states.
Yeah, it's just
they're like, we're going to make all our money from suing people because of the things that we do wrong.
It's the most Republican way to solve a problem of just like, instead of us changing, we're just going to make it so that you can't.
Well, I just think it's weird that a state would sue another state, because if we're looking at like 10th Amendment stuff, like you have to respect the rights and laws of other states. That's which also is the most slept on amendment, which is frustrating. Can I say that? Like as a weird like I'm arguing in front of the Supreme Court justices, and it just well, because there's like I did like AP Poli Sci, and we argued in front of the Supreme Court and things like that because of it. And it was just like it was one of those things where it's like, why does no one care about this? Like for every law, to be honest, like across the board, like. It's weird that other states force other state residents to do anything based on the 10th Amendment. And it's just because people have just genuinely been like, no, we don't care. And it's like, fun.
We should make a big stink about this and then force people to start abiding by it.
I'm down. Also, yeah, why is it not infringing on the like Colorado people's rights if you're trying to make them use coal?
Right. And then my favorite part about this story is they asked the sponsor of the bill, like, why? And he's like, well, I mean, like, I respect other states. I'm pretty sure this is a direct quote. I might be paraphrasing a little bit, but he basically said, like, I have to respect other states' right to do what they need to have, or for what they can, or to do what they can to get what they need, basically. And then immediately afterward goes, but I still want to sue Colorado.
I feel like this guy just hates Colorado at this point.
Yeah.
That's a personal vendetta. But yeah. Anyway, let's make a big stink about the 10th Amendment, just because I want. Well, and it's weird because it would. What's funny is that it would go in so many different ways politically. Like I mean, like every party would be like, all right, but we get this, and it would be wild to watch.
I think instead of that, Ryan, that Ryan should instead run for governor of Missouri. And then should gain residency and go and be his vice or whatever it is.
A lot of people often ask me to run for some office.
Do it! The table and Ryan?
Well, here's the thing. You know what's funny? I actually have And this is weird because I keep my stuff completely like, oh, you guys know all my content is like, I don't talk about politics, I don't talk about religion. Exactly. Well, that's the idea for all my stuff. I've thought about running for representative of Missouri specifically because I just want term limits. That's the only thing I want to run on. It's just like, look,
they'll deny it every time.
Right? I know they will.
Matthew McConaughey of Missouri, Ryan.
Hi, how you doing? I just feel like, all right. Well, because it's essentially running on the platform of, hey, I want everybody to get a chance to run. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to, instead of someone being in there for 30 years, let's have a whole bunch of people.
Yes,
you know what my favorite thing about you know what my favorite thing about serving in Congress is? I just keep getting older and older, and these girls just stay the same age. All right. And then everyone was like, yeah, we need term limits.
Yeah, right. We definitely need term limits, yeah.
All right, we're moving on. Next headline. NASA says the Perseverance rover has successfully created oxygen on Mars, which is a little disappointing, honestly. Stanley Kubrick has had since 1969 to write a second movie, and this is the best he could think of? I mean, the first one was such a stretch. The moon landing, incredible. And now he's just like, how about oxygen?
I still really hope that it played a song like Curiosity did for its birthday. That's all I want, is I want songs on Mars. It is just cute every time to me.
All right. This next one will be a little sacrilegious, and I don't apologize for it. So, AI has unlocked the ancient Dead Sea Scrolls mystery, proving 2 scribes wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls. Also proving once and for all that knowing a lot about scripture is in fact artificial intelligence.
Oh man, I can feel the emails. Can you feel the emails? Oh my God.
I'm gonna post screenshots
Digimon
of the emails.
Movie. Just
I hope we get negative Yelp reviews and we use those as advertisement.
Just remember, we make fun of everything. Carry on. That's like, yeah. If you're mad, we're gonna hate the other people too. Like,
here's the deal: making fun of everyone isn't what makes it okay. Writing a good joke is what makes it okay.
It's true.
If I have to follow it up with, or if anyone ever has to follow something up with, bro, it's just a joke, you're either a coward that won't say what he really means, or you're a terrible comedian.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
True.
So no, that's a joke, obviously. And if you get offended by it, it's because you're probably insecure about your own faith. Moving on. All right.
I can feel my audience stopping to download the podcast.
I just felt like the audience just all of the Christians.
I love I'm like, Jonathan goes, yeah.
Yeah, we lost all of Ryan's face right there. Whoops, my bad, guys. Look, if they're still here after 7 episodes, we had Beer Bong John on 2 weeks ago, and if they're still here, that's not going to be the thing. I don't speak for the brand
or the company or the podcast. No. There it is.
All right. Shrek was released 20 years ago.
Yay!
Yeah, and if you're wondering,
told me.
And if you're wondering what that sound was, that was all of our knees giving out from old age.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
Do you remember watching Shrek for the first time?
I don't.
And what does that mean?
No.
I don't remember yesterday, Dan.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you.
First time.
I didn't put my keys on my nightstand, and I don't remember where they are. So.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to know.
Wait, what about you, Dan? Do you remember Shrek for the first time?
I do, but that's just because we didn't have very big movies getting released all the time in Zimbabwe.
Right.
So when Shrek got released, it was like, whoa, an animated movie is being released? Crazy. And yeah,
fair enough.
Somebody once told him. Anyway, carry on.
Okay. The Hype House is getting a Netflix show.
It just makes me sad, man. I don't even want to
Yeah, and suddenly
it's funny that we work in the same realm as these people. Do you know what I mean? It just is always weird that we are on the same app, we interact in the same circles, but I don't know.
We've probably seen them around.
I would like to see an unscripted series of Ryan and Ben, not What?
Just
Little
driving
Huddy.
a Vespa across the
Driving a
ocean.
Vespa with a boom gun on it.
Yeah, you'd rather
How are they
see
getting their butts waxed.
you'd rather see me and Ryan riding a Vespa
Content.
through LA than Chad and Brad pranking their friends.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if I
Sorted,
got.
y'all.
Let's see if any of these jokes are funny to anyone. The Hype House is getting a Netflix special or a Netflix show, and suddenly I'm okay with MTV showing ridiculousness all day, every day. Whether you want to admit it or not, there's been a hole in our hearts ever since Jersey Shore left the air. The one nice thing, though, is that we all have the answer to Netflix's most annoying question. Are you still watching? Obviously, no.
There it is.
That's the one. That's the winner right there.
That was. It felt good. It felt good in my heart.
Two more headlines. Twitter popped off recently with a lot of tweets saying Jack Black is amazing, which is great because he is amazing. But it's cool to know that millennials are still just as predictable as always. Another actor we adored from our childhood has made it to adulthood unproblematically. He is our god now. I give it about
Steve Carell, Jack Black.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, absolutely.
I give it about
he's achieved even more.
I give it about a week until there is a mass online movement claiming that Jack Black is wildly attractive and not just to people who like bears.
Me.
And last headline, this is more of like a good news thing than a sad news headline, but Derek Chauvin was found guilty on all 3 counts against him.
Yes, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's
Right.
good news that that justice.
A murderer
finally
got convicted for murder.
I know I said I wasn't going to write jokes about this, and I'm still not going to write jokes about this per se, but like when I was on Twitter and I found out, because I found out on Twitter, and it was basically just people saying like all 3 counts, all 3 counts, all 3 counts. And at first I didn't know what it was. I was just like, okay, so you have Count Dooku, Count Dracula, and the Count from Sesame Street. Are they doing like a thing together?
No.
And then it was like guilty on all 3 counts, and I was still stuck in that mind frame. And I was just like, I really like to see just a Sesame Street special where it's just the Count going, guilty on 3 counts. And then Elmo's like, yay, justice!
Justice!
Oh, justice! Now we can do more!
And also, rot in prison, Derek Chauvin. That's all I've got to say.
That's it. That's all the breaking news with Ben for this week. Now moving into our last segment. We got a lot of emails this week, which is great. I love getting the emails. So we're going to jump in. And we color-coded the script this week so that we know who's reading what. I'm green.
You can just say for Ryan.
For Ryan. It's for Ryan. I'm green, Ryan's pinkish red, and then Dan is blue. So that was for you guys.
Double D, double die.
All right, starting with Anonymous. If you could get away with one thing without any consequences or judgment, what would be your one thing?
Being naked all the time.
You can do that in Vermont.
Well,
There's
really?
no, yeah, there's no,
I mean,
there's
that
no
would be
indecent
really
exposure
that
laws
would be
in Vermont.
ideal for me. I just like being naked.
Wow.
Okay.
Did not.
Sure. We're learning so much about you today, Dan. Those city gays hate having pants on, let me tell you.
I'd probably say like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a nature gay thing.
oh look, we've got our nature gay.
And as you can see, the nature gay in his natural habitat. Nature.
Nature.
If you get away with one thing without any consequences or judgment, what would be your one thing? Oh, man.
My first thought is like really a high-end white-collar crime so that I could just make a ridiculous amount of money. To be able to like do whatever, like, because then I could do good things with it or bad things with it. I could just, but I'd have a whole bunch, like, I stole from a bank. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Not very team pure of you, Ryan. Oh,
hey,
my
it's
goodness.
FDIC insured. Those people are fine. The banks are not. And I've heard they're too big to fail, so it's fine.
That part.
I want to live inside the legislative floor of Capitol Hill and just speak to whomever, whenever.
I mean, that'd be
Ben,
pretty fun, yeah.
I'd love to have your like version of Sesame Street where it's the two dudes up in like the rafters just like roasting them the entire time.
That's the Muppets.
Oh my gosh.
Also,
Statler
I'm
and
just
Waldorf.
picturing like them discussing like climate change bills and Ben just,
I just wake
filming
up.
the table videos, right?
Hey, could you guys keep it down here? I'm just like over in the corner, like, wow, I wouldn't have passed that bill. What do you say about that, Waldorf? And they're like, it's just one kid, right? Is he talking to other people? Oh, hey guys, I didn't know that Statler and Waldorf were here. Hey, it's Kermit. I'd like to just pass legal everything for frogs. Can I do that while I'm here, please? No more frog murder, actually, please. I would like to do that.
Frog legs are kind of messed up. Carry on.
Are we not going to talk about how messed up frog legs are? Okay, no, it's fine. Fozzie, anything? Waka waka waka. We need to get him out of here. We need to get him out of here right now.
Okay, what is the most snarky reply or comment that you remember saying? I know my answer for this one. I've had a few, but like my snarkiest was someone said that like they just couldn't believe I was still straight. And I said something to the effect of like, well, you know, I could put it up on TikTok to prove that I'm not, but like 60 seconds isn't enough time and I only talk fast. And that was, yeah.
Okay, Ryan. Snap, snap, snap.
Nah. that one got like over 5 million views. And I was like, oh, I hit a little too hard on that one.
I can't think of any one thing. I'm very snarky and sarcastic on my lives when I answer questions just because I think it's fun. The last one that I remember that people made like a fuss about, they were like, oh, that one was really good. Somebody asked me what order I film my sketches in, and I just said the correct order. That's it. But I'm really sarcastic on my TikTok lives when I answer questions.
When I was 6 years old, my sister was trying to brag about how strong she was, my teenage sister, and she was like, you don't want to mess with these bad boys. And at 6, I was like, oh, or flab boys.
Bro, and that bird was
the
so
moment I knew
good.
I was meant to be a comedian for the rest of my life.
Yeah, right. Dan
That
was going
bird
for the
was
throat
so
at 6.
good that he remembered it from 6 years old. He's like, I can't ever
I just
forget
remember it
this.
because my sister was like, that was the whole
Just call me
reaction, so I
Jeff
was pretty
Ross
proud.
because I'm crushing this roast right now.
Anyway, wonderful. We got a specific email from me that says, Dan, how did you come out? I'm pan and a demi-boy, and my family is hardcore Christian, and sadly I was outed both times. And it's just so nice hearing people coming out. Thankfully, my parents didn't kick me out, but sadly, they think it's a phase. It's honestly not because I've been new. I'm not straight since elementary school, but whatever. And they still dead name me, sadly.
Okay, we need to cover a few things, but before you explain half the stuff that we don't understand in that, I need to tell you how to say the phrase "I been new."
I've been new.
Yeah, it's honestly not, because I been new I'm not straight.
Oh, I've been new. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense. Perfect.
What just happened just hit my brain. Carry on.
Okay, so first, do you know what pan is? Just for the people that are listening that might not.
Well, I'd much rather let me actually get the correct definition entirely. I do know, but I wanted to make sure that
Pretty sure
Can I say what a
it's-
comedian buddy of mine says? Because he's pan, and
Yes.
he's just like, a pan. I always say I'm bi first because people don't understand pan, and so
Yeah.
it takes me a sec to get into it. So it's like pan. It's bi with spice. Like that's his exact
Yeah,
quote.
I saw that guy. He posted that clip on TikTok, and I had comments
seasoning,
on it.
baby.
Yeah, that's oh God.
So pansexuality is attraction to everyone regardless of gender,
Yes,
I believe.
yes.
I had
and
someone
then-
tell me at one point that they were like, you're so sapiosexual, and I was like, you have not met the people I've dated. Those that don't know, sapiosexual, attracted to intelligence. That's
Which is the most feminine thing I've ever heard in my life.
right.
That is the most straight woman sexuality I have ever heard. Yeah, no, I'm just attracted to smart men, you know? I'm sapio manual.
Sapio manual.
Wonderful. Do you have any other questions?
What
Or
is
should we
it?
get
What is a
into-
demi boy?
A demi-boy is, and I'm just going to read this, is a gender identity describing someone who partially, but not wholly, identifies as a man or boy, regardless of their assigned gender at birth. They may or may not identify as another gender in addition to feeling partially a boy or a man.
Okay, so it's like almost non-binary.
Yeah,
That's
it's the bisexuality of the gender spectrum, where you're just I have a preference for men.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit in between.
Okay, and then what is dead name?
Dead name. That's something.
Do you actually not know this one?
A dead name. Well, from what I remember, or I've only heard it a couple times, but dead name is like, from what I remember, is like they don't talk about you. Period. Like you're dead to them.
No.
A dead name is
a name that you no longer use.
Yeah. So when you change your name, dead name is now the name that you used to go by, and referring to a trans person by their dead name is just like super offensive.
Just a weird thing that happened recently. I knew a friend going into quarantine. He was he, and now he is she, or she is she. And here's the thing though, I didn't know the name that they'd picked. And so it was one of these moments where I was like, but I knew the old name, but I was like, I definitely can't say that one. It was a very awkward situation where I was like, someone needs to hook me up here because I just don't know. And I want to be respectful, but I'm very confused because quarantine changed a lot of things for a lot of us, but mostly for them. You know what I mean? Like,
you can just ask.
Yeah.
But you just don't want
to. There's a comedian
Ben,
in
do you
Orlando.
see how straight and white I look? I am the walking problem is what most people tell me when they just come up to me.
Yeah,
like, people
you just do.
In my life, people are like, "You're a cis het man." I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, I don't know what's going on."
Just do the very millennial thing of apologizing before you even start speaking. Just walk up. I am so sorry, but like, what name do you go by now?
Yeah. But I did find it out because I waited for their set.
There is a comedian in Orlando who changed their pronouns. I'm not sure if they're trans or if they're just non-binary or something, but they changed their pronouns and their name. And there's a lot of people in the scene that are just like awkward now. They're just like, I don't know what to call them. And I was like, see what you just did where you said them because you don't know? That's the correct term. Also, how about just call him Lee?
There's the thing. That's what I think is okay. Can we talk about something this crazy for a second? Why don't we just call people by their names? Like that Lil Nas X song. Like, call me by your name. Like that's I don't know.
Call me by your name.
First of all, if you don't know, first of all, just ask. Second of all, just say their name.
I've never understood. I'm Ryan.
And that's all it. That's all it. That's all it. Yeah.
Okay, I think we actually answer this question now.
I've got a noun. It's all mine. You know what I mean? I don't need a professional version. I'll take the amateur version. It's Ryan. That's my noun. Like I don't know.
And that's been I think that's the really cool part. You know, I can't speak to coming out in those particular situations, but how I came out as gay was I sat my parents down. It was honestly my sisters kind of like not forced me to. They didn't not force, and I want to clarify, not force me to in the way of like
they encouraged you to.
You need. They encouraged me. They said, "Okay, your parents need to know who you are, and they need to understand where you're coming from." And so, yeah, I sat them down, talked to them. I obviously, I went through each individual sibling and had conversations with them. I was just very nervous about, what the reaction was going to be. But in general, my parents, I think I've been very lucky in saying, my parents and my family have been very accepting. There was a time where the community was very accepting, the general, Utah community. And then I started being a little more gay. Not straight. I didn't act straight anymore, and that's when they were like, we're so angry now.
Now he's acting like us, and we hate it.
Yeah. And so that was, I'd say that it is very hard, and I sympathize with, I believe it's Sky, right?
Sky.
I sympathize with Sky because I know where they're coming from in saying it's so hard to come out, and it's so hard, and I can't imagine being outed. I was outed to one of my siblings by someone. I hated it. It was terrible. But at the same time, it allowed the opportunity for that love and relationship to grow a little bit more. So I always encourage people, whether it's coming out or whatever it is, to simply just be honest with yourself and say, who am I as a person? And just follow your heart. If you want to be gay, gender queer, whatever. It's all up to you, and you just have to make that decision for yourself because you're going to be so much happier, and you're also going to know where other people around you stand. It's hard, but it's going to make life so much more worth it because you're being honest with yourself. So, yeah, I say come out of the closet. That's my whole
better come out.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's pretend to be Dan's sisters.
Yeah, Dan.
Go for it. You got
Tell him.
Yeah.
Tell him. What are you doing? Tell him. Why haven't you told him yet? Tell him. All right. This email comes to us from Rahqew. Rahqew. That is my best guess. Is Rahqew. Hello, Ryan, Ben, and Dan. I hope you guys are well. I love you guys. You guys always brighten my week. My question is, how do you all manage your stress? I hope you guys have a good week. Can't wait for the podcast on Saturday. So how do you manage your stress? Plushies, Ryan.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, like poorly. Like, to be straight up, like I find soft things and I hold them. Like that's my strategy. Honestly, like when I get like super stressed out, but it's normally tends to be like when I'm in a relationship that's like really bad, and okay. I realize later it's like I'm like there are bad things happening. I stop eating, I drop weight, and that's not good, and that's not how you manage stress. So important things like always keep showering, eating, things like that. But like, okay, man, that's for me. I just lose weight really quickly, which is unfortunate. But yeah, and then I just find squishies and I hold them. This is Squishy. He is my Squishy.
Hello, Squishy.
I'd say that I do kind of an opposite thing. How I used to was I just used to overeat a lot of the time. Now what I do is I try to make sure, just like you said, Ryan, is you try to make normal stuff and like also just avoid conflict, right? I go out into the sun. If I haven't been outside the whole day and I've been stuck editing or doing whatever I'm doing inside, I make sure to go sit in the sun for like 15 minutes and just get all the vitamin D going, get a little bit of, just a little bit of self-love going.
And a little bit of and a little bit of Sorry, go on.
But that's the honest truth, is you just have to you have to put yourself in a position where you don't feel stress. And where I don't feel stress is in the sun, laying on the grass. My neighbors probably think I'm super weird because they can definitely see into my backyard, but who cares? So that's how I de-stress.
A lot of people are going to hate me for my answer. Because I don't really get stressed. Not very often. It does happen. I get stressed sometimes, but it's very rare.
You're built like my little brother is, and I hate that.
I don't know. I do a lot of things that prevent me from getting stressed, but like I very rarely get to that spot where I feel stressed. And when I do feel stressed, all I do is the work that's making me stressed. Yep. And I think that has a lot more to do with the ADHD, because I have executive dysfunction when I don't take my medicine. So it's hard for me to sit down and actually start work unless I feel stressed, because then it's like that's the pressure I needed to start the work. So with ADHD, when I'm not taking my medicine, if I feel stressed, that just means I'm productive and I'm not stressed. But it happens very rarely. I have a lot of I have a big calendar here. I have a secondary weekly calendar on top of that. A lot of stuff that just keeps me focused on what's about to happen very soon, so that I don't end up behind in something and stressed out. I don't know. I'm weird. Awesome. I know that.
No, I love it. Yeah.
Sounds wonderful. Sounds lovely. Next question. Hi, this isn't a question. Not next question. It's just a somewhat nice, possibly funny thing. By the way, this is from Haley. I'm gonna go with Bonnie Steele. That's my best shot at that. Okay. It's either Haley or Hallie also. I'm not sure, because I have a cousin named Hallie that spells that way, but I feel like that's mostly Haley spelled this way. I don't know. Please send in the phonetic version. I know that you promised it at the end, but I would love to know. I'm not actually sure what days you guys actually upload your episodes, because I purposely save them for Sundays while I'm going to church and lunch with my mom.
A great podcast to listen to on the way to church. I mean...
that feels like I'm taking a guess. This is my audience, and I love you. I'm just happy you're here. Thanks for being here. It gives me a really good, hilarious, and wholesome start to my week. My mom downloaded TikTok specifically to follow K9 officers and Ryan. I love that I am in the grouping of cute dogs that are cops, and Ryan. Like, just
One of
like-
these things is not like the other thing. One of these things
Honestly,
just
people
doesn't
were
belong.
People compare me to a golden retriever so much that I get
Yeah,
it.
that's fair.
I'm honored, and tell your mom I love her. This is very nice. This is so nice. She's been trying to get me to hit on Ryan for a few months, even though I'm a weird mixture of Beer Bong John and Jake Barr. Love you
Shoot
guys.
your
Appreciate
shot.
what you guys put into the world. Okay, first off, here's the funny thing. Do you know how frequently moms slide into my DMs for their daughters? Like, I get hit on
I
way more
imagine.
by
Yeah.
moms than by daughters.
I get a lot of angry, straight, white Republican men.
Yes, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get you know what's weird? I get death threats from like across the board, but I get them
There
from
you
like
go.
it's one of those things where I will say this, like sometimes I've gotten threats from like the more conservative side, but I've also gotten threats from the more liberal side. And that one side always makes me laugh because like, with what gun are you going to shoot me with? Really? You're going to hit me like try to threaten me again. What are you going to do? Hopefully like I'll go vegan and then die of an iron deficiency. Like I don't like it's not going to happen.
That's exactly what they want you.
It makes me laugh every time where I'm just like, man, it's crazy to me that people, because for those of you that don't know, I studied counterterror and then homeland security and like got my master's in that, and it's all about radicalization. It never
Absolutely.
is like sidewise. It's crazy to watch radicalization across the board because you've got things like say like the Black Hebrew Israelites. And then you've got like Christian identity movement, which is like one's a white supremacist group, one is like very really like what is classified as a black supremacist group. And they both, my favorite part about this, they both claim to be the real Jews and they hate the Jews. And it's like, well, at least they unified
Yeah.
on something. Like, you freaking morons. Like, it makes me laugh.
At
where
least
I'm
the
like,
racism isn't the part here now, right? That's just the xenophobia.
right, yeah, I guess. Well, that it's just it makes me like as one of the Jews, it's like, well, at least they unified around hating one of us. Like, that's like, yeah,
Again.
maybe that'll bring them together. Yeah, again, right? It's wild. And anyway, yeah, that got way too detailed into the studies that I've done for years.
Perfect.
Anyway, next person.
Yes,
Well, she said you didn't read the PS.
Oh, P.S. I'll send you a phonetic spelling of my last name, but I dare Ben to try to pronounce it without.
Okay. I do a lot of pronunciation stuff now, so I feel like people are just gonna start forcing me to do stuff. First name is for sure Haley. Last name, I have 3 guesses. Bony Steel is what I want to say, but I know that's wrong. And there's for sure it's for sure not Bony Steel. Second guess is Bonasteel.
Okay.
Okay.
And last guess, wildly foreign, is Bonastile.
Yeah.
I like that. I like,
It sounds more fancy.
Bonastile.
it sounds really fancy. It feels like you put it in a like really nice thing.
Bonastile, yeah.
Like a bow on
So
top of
those
that
are those are my 3 guesses. My second guess was my favorite one. If it is gonna be one of those 3, I think for sure it's gonna be Bonastile. But yeah,
Cool.
send in that phonetic pronunciation.
Yes, perfect. Okay, next question is, hey boys, Ryan and Dan, if you were to sit around the table of states that Ben created, who would you represent? And Ben, who do you think they would represent? And then I'll read the rest after. But
Okay,
let's
who do
get-
you guys
let's
think
get the
that you would
answers.
play?
Oh, Missouri for sure.
Okay.
Utah, yeah.
Okay.
Do Utah.
So I've thought about asking you to come on the table before Ryan to play Disney.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
For
immediately-
that brand and company.
Oh, I'm so down. I love that.
And Dan, you're too gay to play Utah.
Yes, yeah.
So I would actually probably have you come in as just gay men. I'll be honest. Yep, all of them.
Hello.
Yeah, that's you.
All of the gay
You are gay men.
Me,
And
after I've been grouping gay men the whole podcast, country and nature. And
yeah, and we would just
Oh.
ask you questions that you don't know the answer to, but we think that you should know the answer to it because you're gay.
Oh my god.
I would actually genuinely love that so much.
And I'd love to you to play every type of gay. Like you come in camo, he's
Absolutely.
country gay today. Like
Yeah,
you come
yeah.
on in like a
Country
city gay. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Also, Ben, whenever.
Yeah, I
you
gotta
want
write
that,
something.
I'll put-
You're the female youth pastor Ryan.
Yeah, Jess.
Jessica, she lives near me, and we've talked about her playing the Reedy Creek Improvement District. at Disney World, which is just like this, basically a city that Disney built that all the employees get to live in, and it's wild.
That sounds
But
terrifying.
you guys would go
and
hand
amazing.
in hand in that video.
I'd love that. Oh my gosh, we'd have so much fun.
Perfect. And then the follow-up question to this was, as a follow-up, in honor of John being on the cast last week, who would other well-known TikTokers be if you could choose them? And to narrow it down, I'll give you 4 to choose from your friends: John, Beerbong John, Kevin, Iron Sanctuary, Haley and Kendra, Haley/Kendra, sorry,
Right.
and Jesse the Snickle.
So my friends.
I have that's every single one of my friends. That's all of them.
No,
We have no other friends.
So I haven't really thought about it very much. It's more or less just like if I see them playing a character and I'm like, yeah, I think this could be a thing in my videos. Like I've had Bimo the Prince on as different years, and I'm gonna have another sketch with him playing millennials. I don't think any of those guys play any characters, so it's harder to do that. But what I have been doing is I've been asking friends that I want to join that let me know their favorite character or story from American history, and then I would just have them play that character or be in that story as a retelling at the table.
Like Drunk History? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, as a
I
comedic
love-
retelling by the
Oh my gosh,
States.
I love that so much.
Beth Stelling said she wanted to play Amelia Earhart, so I'm writing that one.
Yes.
And Wayne Brady said he'd get back to me. So
That's more than you can. Oh, sweet
yeah,
Wayne.
we're just hoping. Moving on. Karina L says, "What would your drag queen names be?" Also, I just want to say that the Ryan Hates Women episode came up next to a Spice Girls video.
I don't hate women. I don't know what's.
But you do hate the Spice Girls.
Yeah, I noticed how
Picture reviews on
instead
that,
of
yeah.
I noticed how instead of complimenting the Spice Girls, you went with defending yourself.
Yeah.
So
Because Ben spent an entire episode going, Ryan hates women, and that's a tough role to pick yourself out of.
what would your drag queen names be?
I actually even, weirdly, I feel ashamed as a gay to say that I haven't really given this a lot of thought yet.
Okay.
Dairy
idea.
Queen?
Oh wait, that's hilarious.
Because my
Oh
middle
my
initial
God.
is Q.
So DQ,
DQ.
and you're allergic to dairy.
Yep, I'd be Dairy Queen.
I'm pulling up a drag queen name generator.
That's
Yes!
a cheap way out.
Absolutely. I still want to. What
also
do you
just
currently
curious.
do in life? Full-time student rocket. I'm a traveler. I work in an office. I do not work in an office. Well, yeah, we don't work in an office. What is your deepest desire? Inner and outer peace, a compassionate world, personal growth, finding true love, understanding other people.
Is
A
this
lot
an
of these are
ad?
kind of this.
This is an ad for the Brome podcast.
What?
I don't know.
Nah. Would you say your strongest quality is kindness, intelligence, creativity,
Are
strength?
you really about to take an entire personality test right now?
I mean, I'm hoping it's like 5 long. I hope it's
Why don't you pay like 25?
I hope it's not. That'd be kind of ridiculous. How deep are we in this? How often do you work out? Yeah.
Really proud of yourself for that one, huh?
Why'd you take this test? Is there a podcast? None of the above. Okay, that's
I'm on a podcast that makes me do a lot of questionable things.
right. Like calling the government and asking if I'm still wanted from them.
I also have a little list that I can do for you guys if you want.
Well, I have my answer. We're just waiting for Ryan to
Oh, wait,
stop
no, Ben,
being-
go for your answer as I walk through this.
My drag queen name would be Alligator Hurricane.
That's
Yes!
so good.
I would
The
fully
reptile
support that.
princess.
We do. If we ever meet up, we do need to do a comedy show in full drag with you guys.
I'll do
That's
it. I've
just
done
my
a drag show
recommendation.
before. Drag comedy
Yes. I want to just
Okay.
see you guys in makeup is all. I just want to put glue on your eyebrows.
show. Ugh, I
Yeah.
just wore the clothes.
My
I didn't.
name is Charlemagne Wesley. And I kind of love that, actually. Mostly
Yeah.
because of the what's it called? The Princess Bride reference. I'm a big fan of that.
Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne the God Queen.
Yeah, Charlemagne the God Queen.
I love it. Okay. Also, why is your hair the way that it is? Why that style? Big fan of the podcast.
I want to make sure that this is the next question and not just like a thing that Ryan has on top of the drag queen thing.
It's from an unsuccessful diet. My hair is falling. It is falling out, and I am balding. And
why is your hair the way that it is?
It's luscious. Actually, I get that question a lot.
Yeah, because you have very good hair.
I've never asked
Some of us have genetics that just don't care about our feelings. The Ben Shapiro of genetics.
I have never asked my hair why it is the way that it is. So, I don't know. But I remember when I was younger, I would brush it the other way, and my hair would just naturally go that way. And then one day, someone was like, you gotta put volume in your hair, because nobody likes it if it's flat. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna buy products. So I just started brushing it the other way. And since my hair just naturally wants to go the one way, it just has this curve in it. And it gets really floofy.
Gay. You're kind of gay.
Right?
You know.
A little bit.
You get it.
Yeah.
A little bit. Oh, perfect. This isn't a question, but just wanted to share a fun fact, lol. There is a minor league baseball team in Florence, Kentucky, right? KY?
Yep.
I don't know if that's right. Literally called the Florence Yalls. Yalls. Their mascot is a water tower because in Florence, Kentucky, their water tower says Florence, y'all. So there is a real minor league baseball team named after a water tower.
I love that. And I have something very important to add to this.
I think we've got Bourbon, Missouri, and their water tower just has bourbon on it, which I think is so funny.
So, in Savannah, Georgia, there's a minor league team called the Savannah Bananas. And they are rivals with a minor league baseball team in Macon, Georgia, called the Macon Bacon. So sometimes the Macon Bacon play the Savannah Bananas, but also there is a minor league baseball team in San Antonio, Texas, called the Flying Chanclas. And I have their bobblehead, which if you're watching the YouTube, you can see it. This is the bobblehead of the Flying Chanclas. As you can see, it's got chanclas in his eyes and his hat. It's a sugar skull. And the jersey really says the Flying Chanclas on it.
I love that so much. I would absolutely see that.
Yeah, bro, it's hilarious.
Cute.
Moving on. Last question from Bailey M. I was born and raised in the Midwest. Then after high school, I traveled the U.S. and ended up in the South. After living here for a few years, I'm 98% sure that South Dakota is the Florida of the Midwest. What do you think?
Never been.
So I've never been to South Dakota, but I am inclined to agree because years ago they had a big meth problem in South Dakota. So they made a program to fight the meth epidemic in South Dakota, and their slogan was "Meth, we're on it." And if you give me just a second, I will grab the actual T-shirt that they sold.
Oh my gosh. I'd love that Ben was like, I need to purchase a piece of history. And he grabbed meth.
But that's a real piece of history.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so it's just a T-shirt, and it's got the outline of the state of South Dakota on it, and then it says meth, period, we're on it, period. And here it is.
Yeah.
I love how it's trademarked. That's my favorite part of that whole thing.
We're
trademarked.
We are on it.
So yeah, I'm inclined to agree that South Dakota is the Florida of the Midwest for that alone.
Wow.
Do they do a lot of meth in Florida?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dan, I'm not sure if you're aware of this. The actual
I thought
slogan.
They did, like, bath salts and other weird things.
That was just an experiment.
Okay.
But that's what you do. You do bath salts once the meth has lost its edge.
Oh, okay.
But the actual slogan of Daytona Beach, Florida is the birthplace of speed.
Good.
And they mean the Daytona 500.
Yep.
I firmly believe that's a cover.
Oh my gosh.
But that's
Some
it.
people just don't think things through.
That is it
That's
for us.
it. That's all. That's the whole episode. Thank you so much for listening in. We hope you enjoyed it and you want to come back next week. If you want to find us individually outside of the podcast, Ryan, where can they go?
www.youthpastorryan.com. It's got all my links to all my things. Yeah.
Nice.
Dan?
I need to come up with a website.
Yeah, you do.
Just go to Dan Bam Bam on any social media platform except for Snapchat, which is Dan_YOLO Love. Ben.
All right. Yeah, you can go to my website, benbrainard.com. It's got a link to everything. It's spelled Brain A-R-D. So figure it out by using yours.
Not Brainyard.
No, not Brainyard or Brain
Or
Tard.
Ratman.
Or Rat Boy. Yeah, that was a weird one. If you want to contact the podcast, you can find all the podcast links at gdfmpodcast.com, and you can email us at podcast@gdfmpodcast.com. Thanks for listening in. We will see you all next week. Bye.